दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट।
The stream is not working for me.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ही ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Mythic Showdown Season 1. Back again, we're at this evening. We're going to kick things off the last day of the Wildcard Stages, and we're going to be seeing the last two teams duking it out before we, of course, move to Swiss Stages. And we'll get the teams revealed soon who is going to be making from the wildcard stage. But anyways, into the casting desk, of course, your host, it's your Zushin's husband. As you can clearly see, it's myself, Ray. And joining me is, of course, Itami. Zio will be joining us here soon. She's a little bit late. Her train got a little bit late, so do file a report regarding that. But yeah, jokes aside, hello, Itami. Nice to have you here back again. It's us bros back on the casting desk, and let's see how how the best of three series between Untitled and Emperors go. If I'm not wrong, Untitled needs this point to move to the Switch stages. Meanwhile, Emperors, I feel like they're already kind of out of the competition. So if they wanna be petty, they can make sure that Untitled doesn't get to the Switch stages. So let's see how it happens.
Yes, indeed. And, I guess Untitled, as you said, they are about to be progressing, but still, it would be better for them if they go out with a clean sweep, if possible, because Emperor's performance hasn't been coming up that, well, like we expected. But Untitled, this team is definitely one of the teams to be watching out for, because we did see their match against Ryuga, and they were able to actually reverse sweep Ryuga Esports. And this is one of the mainland teams which has a lot of potential, and hopefully they will be making it onto the Swiss rounds. But Team Emperors, as you said, they are already kind of out of the competition. But the question is, maybe they might be showing up some life onto the series, or maybe not.
Yep, definitely. They only need one win. Funny enough, Untitled only needs one win. So technically, even if they lose out, as long as they win one match, they kind of get into the playoff stages. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, that's the advantage you have when you win the earlier matches into the round robin, right? You have higher points. So even if you lose a match, you still have point to leverage, right? So because of it, I think Untitled is still regardless in a good position. But just like you mentioned, why not solidify your position? After all, only two teams go from each group. So why not go out with a bang, right? So yeah, let's just see how it works out, and we're gonna move to the draft phase really soon. Before that, of course, I would love to mention that this tournament, the top two teams will be proceeding to the regional tournament, which will be officially hosted by Moba 5v5 Esports. So follow the Instagram for more updates, because right now everything is not finalized yet. So if you want more, do follow them on social media, and why not also follow IGC, Indian Gaming Corps. Of course, the whole tournament is presented by them and Vista. No sponsors, not nothing, because we are strong. Jokes aside, also show your support of your team. Which team that you think either you think is gonna win or it's your favorite. They might not have won, but it's your favorite. Just comment down below hashtag Mythic Showdown, and the bot will count you in the 10,000 diamond giveaway. And they will be picking 3 winners every stream, and they will be announced later. And that is a massive pool, okay? That is a massive one. So if you want those, maybe it's gonna be late, okay? Maybe you might not be getting the Naruto skins, but hey, developers like putting out all those amazing juicy skins. So if you want those, you better participate in those giveaway. But yeah, I'm just gonna be waiting until the draft begins. Itami, do you have anything you want to say about these teams? Because of course we are discussing Untitled being that team that was able to defeat Ryuga, who had almost a clean sweep journey throughout the wildcard stage.
Yeah, definitely one of the teams to be watching out for. I do believe for now, Untitled Ryuga Esports, we do see them, onto the tournament scene, but we don't see them quite often compared to the teams onto the Mythic leaderboard. So it is going to be, this point system is actually going to be mattering to Untitled, even if they don't come with a clean sweep, they will be trying their best to get it actually. And hopefully, like, they will be pulling up some tough kind of a competition. Emperors, it is kind of over for them, but still, kudos to them. They are still trying to fight it out. And even if they are not able to make it out from the elite leaderboards, mythic leaderboards, it will be taking some time to be resetting it. And hopefully they will be making it out somehow, someday. But for now, the drafting phase has begun, and Untitled apparently has the first pick advantage.
Mm-hmm. They have the first pick advantage, and how they draft usually, I think Zushin as well as Kalia better be something that Emperors have to watch out for. But here I am back again, casting for Ray, but it's a different spelling, that's why Emperors, what do you say, support your Ray, okay? He can help you win. But yeah, jokes aside, let's see how the draft goes out so far. I'm expecting at least one respect band from each side, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, Untitled is also the team that played Bakshia, isn't it?
Yeah. So it kind of reveals that they are reliable onto that utility kind of junglers as well as the assassins. We did see, I do believe we did see some assassins. The Suyo, he is a fighter, but still utility type. I won't actually say it because he has the mobility that the team is actually going to be needing. And Suyo, being an S tier jungler, can be a priority pick for the side of Team Untitled or maybe Team Emperors as well. But they have decided to ban out for the Hayabusa ban first. So, mostly onto the banning phase, we see the flex bans coming up. But for now, it is the Hayabusa, a guaranteed jungler, followed by the Mathilda too. So they are just going on to the regular drafts, I would say, because these are the heroes that has been quite dominating the meta.
Absolutely. And looks like that the Kalia is the one who's actually going for. I mean, Untitled is the one who's going for the Kalia ban, so that means they're gonna go for something else entirely on to the first pick. It could. What do you think? I feel like it could possibly be maybe a Badang, but at the same time, maybe not. But I have seen Untitled pick up Badang repeatedly, so it is very possible they ban out the Kalia, so there's no choke ban that could be coming in from Emperors. And so far, Emperors also knowing very well that Untitled likes to play that Jawhead. Like, they pick up the Bakshia, and you think they're gonna pick up a healer? No, they pick up they pick up the Jawhead again. Signature pick for Joker. So I feel like that's a really good respect ban. And this is what I was talking about, and it's really nice to see. But let's see if the Zushin is gonna be laid out open, because if it is, it might spell trouble for either side. But I feel like Untitled is well prepared if there's a Zushin, honestly.
I do agree. And emperors apparently they are banning out the Rome priority ban is there actually, the Jawhead and the Matilda, which would have been going on onto the Rome. Jawhead, damage Jawhead is also viable for the rank scene, but tournaments, nah, it's not going to be working. So emperors are going out with the Roma priority bans, I would say. And Untitled, they have the flex bans as well as the jungler ban. Apparently, the Lucas would have been going on onto the EXP as well as onto the jungle, but onto the Mythic Showdown, we mostly see Lucas going onto the jungle. And if he was picked out, then they would be having that early game advantage because of the Sacred Beast form and Emperors. Look at them just banning out the Roma kind of potential heroes.
Mm-hmm. And there we go. Targeting it. Oh,
Oh,
there I
oh,
said it. Told you the Badam is coming. I call him Badam, okay? It's Badam
Badam.
from now
Yep.
on. No more Badang, guys. It's Badam Punch. But yeah, I was right. It was the Badam. And right now, looking at it, the Zushin is laid out open, but at the same time, it's a risk because, of course, the Badam will just straight up go in where the Flicker second skill, and Zushin will just be forced to retreat. And once Zushin retreats from the team fight, I mean, if your mage is retreating from the team fight, she's gonna be no help to you. So maybe something else entirely would be much better. But let's see. Honestly, I'm predicting Emperors, at least maybe they will pick up their EXP laner and mid laner right now. If not, there we go. They pick up the Kimi, and oh my god, am I so precise? Best analyst guys in India. But yeah, just joking. I'm just taking place for Zero. Come on, pick up the pace, Zero. Tell your train to go faster. But yeah, there. Oh my god, what is
Oh,
this? First time Fanny debut in
oh.
Mythic Showdown Season 1, and it's coming from a team that actually plays a Bakshia jungle nonetheless.
Nah, they are just trolling you at this point. Like maybe they just heard you saying that these guys only go out for utility. Let me show you the Fanny, and here comes the Fanny from the side. So yeah, the to answer the Fanny, they have decided to go out with the Brethren, which is a utility once again. But okay, I do believe Untitled they might be trying to pan out the floor in this time because Roma is yet to be picked out, and
Yeah, this is what I dislike,
yeah,
honestly.
Fajr is
Why not pick up the
also.
Florin?
Yeah, they would have been going out for the
Yeah,
Florin actually.
yeah. I don't know the hesitation. Like, of course it's gonna get banned out. Like the Fredrin. I mean, if you're thinking of picking up the Fredrin, right? Like, oh, Fredrin is a good counter for the Fanny. Why not commit to the Florin? Even if Fredrin is banned out, you can go for the Alpha. I am not really sure why they don't
Oh,
want to prioritize the healer, because I feel like not having a healer is going to lessen the impact of their overall. Because look at that, two global heals have already been taken out, and right now they have to go for raw damage, because I don't think Rafaela is a good option. If they pick up the Estes, they're kind of screwed either way. So yeah, I feel like at the end it should be a Kimi mid lane with a Moskov because I feel like if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have, I mean, Moskov will struggle against the Harriet, but hey, he's not gonna struggle against the Fanny, is he?
nah. Moscow, against the Fanny, he kind of works out because of his mobility as well as of the spear, the stuns he does. But Fredrin with a high low storm, it is kind of questionable. You will be having the revitalize as
There we
your,
go.
healing, healing, what do you call it? The heals will only be provided by the revitalize as well as the glorious pathway. But they have decided to go on with the Carmela as well as the Eve. So, as soon as the Curse of Blood lands, they can be directly go. Daki can directly go out with the real one manipulation and completely change the pace of the team fight. So I do believe Untitled Fanny can go 1v1 and actually get a kill and go out. But other of them, they are mostly team fight reliant.
Mm-hmm. It's also the fact that they have okay,
Oh,
Beatrix.
Beatrix.
Beatrix wins against the lane of Harith. That's the truth,
Yeah.
actually. So I think this works, but at the same time, you're kinda nah. Beatrix is actually funny enough. I mean, we know Beatrix. This girl is the root of all evil. But yeah, jokes aside, the Beatrix. I feel like it's an extremely solid pick. And funny enough, even if we consider out all the other picks, I just feel like if they the first three frontliners just do their job properly and dodge out the skills of the Carmilla Eve combo that's going to be coming up with the RWM, it's an extremely solid lineup. The only thing they need to do is protect Beatrix at any cost, and I just feel like this Beatrix can be the key to victory easily because a Fanny cannot win against Beatrix in the late phase.
Yeah, and Beatrix, if that is only going to be happening actually realistically, if Beatrix is able to, farm up compared to that Harith. And onto the laning phase, you did say that the Beatrix is going to be winning, but she needs to be really careful of her positioning because you have a Fanny for the opponent side.
Absolutely.
But I guess we are back onto the Land of Dawn, Untitled against Team Emperors, and this is going to be a BO3. Emperors, it is not a do or die, but Untitles, it will be securing them they will be securing the further slots. We are back, and just enjoy the action.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're into the Land of Dawn of course, Mythic Showdown Season 1. This is the last day of the Wildcard Stages, and this is not the last match. The last match is going to be after this one, but this one is the before one. But yeah, jokes aside, this is going to be Untitled versus Emperor, and this is a best of 3 series. Untitled needs 1 win to secure the spot into, of course. Oh, look at that. Itami, you want to take it over?
Oh, first blood already. The aggression coming up from that Fanny, and looks like they are just not just ganking on the lane, but they are getting the trees for their side as well. That was actually a good initiation coming up from the side of Team Untitled. So a good start by far.
Nice. So, do you want to take over the team fights, or do you want me to take over Itami? I'm fine with anything, but yeah. Oh, what's happening into the mid lane?
Joker just goes down onto the process, and yep, I'll go with the analysis, I guess. So, hype it up for me. So the turtle will be spawning, and Untitled as well as Emperors, they got the treat, but I do believe Untitled will be having a better advantage in terms of the turtle, and they will just be retreating it out. The turtle yet to be spawned, and I guess Fredrin as well as the Phobius and the Kimi, they can be starting it out, but look at the zoning coming out from Daki as well as Nichchan.
Of course.
Oh.
Into the bottom lane, lot of poking, but yeah, this is just a classic rotation of getting the level 4. But yeah, Phobius, what was that? You could have retreated, but no, he wanted to be a Rambo and got in there's Joker, but he's the one being clowned right now, and I feel like that was completely unnecessary. And they're gonna lose this turtle fight, also considering Fredrin is nowhere nearby. And also, today I'm Zevo for some reason, guys, but of course, jokes aside, I'm just the host covering up for Zevo, who's very late. I'm gonna be rubbing it in her face, okay? But yeah, 2 for 1, and turtle gotten as well.
2 for 1, as well as the turtle going for the side. So by far Untitled are having a great start. Even if Emperors, they have a utility jungler, he is not initiating onto those team fights. Oh my god. An off camp kill, Kimi gets taken down onto the purple buff. There is some invades going around.
Oh my god, Phobius alone trying to buy out some soul time, but he's not able to do so. Fredrin does come in, but the CC is just not enough yet. But Phobius goes in ham with the RWM coming into the spot as well. There is Fredrin. Phobius right in, and he gets taken down instead, so far away. The Infernal pursued for a little bit too long and got taken down. 5-1 score, just under 4 minutes.
Oh my god. The Phobius, he was kind of guaranteed that he will be getting the kill onto the Fanny, but I guess that is most probably because of the farm gap that they have, and Fanny has a better farm compared to the Phobius, so that is the reason why she got the kill. And looks like Untitled, they are having quite of a lead, almost over 3k. Looks like the Beatrix, he can be ganked out by Joker in the time.
But yeah, so far the Fanny looks well prepared. Looks like wants a marksman feast, but of course Beatrix getting the vision will be able to go out of the zone. But looks like this is gonna be a free turret because 5 members into the top lane. The zone out is immaculate. There is just nothing they can do to stop this. And Untitled playing a very objective game, and they're just gonna be able to do it. Fredrin wants a little bit of action, but no, he also needs to retreat back. And so far a lot of poke left and right, but some action. Yes or no? No. There's just a lot of poking, but Barang looks like he's prepared. Might go in for the Phobius again. Only one is the only one getting taken down each time. But right now the Harriet with his Zaman force using all the damage. RWM into the spot as well. The Fanny goes in with the cutthroat. Takes out Relo MLBB YT, and right now dishing out the damage to Beatrix, but not enough. Hylos is the one getting melted down, and there's the wall as well. Nishin takes the kill. Fredrin, why are you trying to run from there? There's the wall. You can move around it. But yeah, we've all been there in those panic situations, but Untitled leading a very snowball game with their draft, of course. The Fanny is working out really well.
Yeah, they went out for the comfort, and the comfort is actually paying them off. Oh my god, this Fanny was berserk, but finally they shut down. A 1-for-1. Looks like they will be engaging.
I'm drinking water, sorry.
Oh, Ray might. Okay, the guy is Ray as well, and Ray gets taken down onto the process.
Yeah,
And
I would be
looks
taken
like-
down too
yeah.
if I didn't drink water. Stay hydrated, guys.
Yeah, only one is the only one trying to gank up once again, as you said, and the flicker has been forced out by him, and somehow, he won't be able to just sustain the damage. He needs to be going back, and the turtle has been spawned, but I guess Fanny, she will be taking her time considering the fact she has the farm as well as the lead favoring for their side. They are not actually over-engaging onto any team fights, but if Team Emperors decides to engage, it will still be Team Untitled with the better trade.
Absolutely, and you were absolutely right with the Kimi, because I play Kimi okay, and let me tell you, the hero that scares me the most is genuinely a Fanny. Look at that. She can try to go across the wall, but if there was no Fredrin, Fanny would have committed. But yeah, right now Fredrin is the one who's stuck in a void right now, because it's gonna be Void who's gonna be put into a void, and they have to wait until he can resurrect himself and come back. Right now, looks like the side of Untitled, they don't want to go for the turtle perhaps. They want to go for the Lord. They want to end this game immediately as soon as possible. Daki, look at that HP. Carmilla going ham. Quite Rambo. There's no Sicilian, but she has HP.
Yeah. And HP as well as initiation wise, sustainability, there actually will be there, and Joker, he just needs a good curse of blood to be okay. Dealing out the damage, that was an overextension, and the Fanny will be going down onto the process. One thing about Team Emperors, they have the crowd control, so she needs to be making sure it is actually baited out. Okay, Joker, there's the initiation.
There's the initiation, the Curse of Blood misses out, but there's the Barang coming up with the fisting. This is all the damage. Ray gets taken down. Right now, the Kimi comes in with the ult as well, that missile, but Harriet has to go back. Daki, what are you doing? You're still... Okay, had the flicker, so was able to pick out and survives at 1 HP. Barely scripting it off. Void has to retreat, and so does all of the members, but 2-for-2 trade, and Untitled is still on the lead, so it was not a big of an issue, and looks like I was right. They're gonna go for the Lord immediately. No turtles. There's no turtle soup for you, Harriet. Better stay back.
Yeah, and I do believe they will just be waiting out for that 8th minute Lords, because that will be more worth it. And Fanny, she is just taking her time trying to get her buffs as much as possible in order to be more initiating onto those team fights. This Yves pick is actually a cherry on top, I believe, because she is a continuous kind of a magic damage dealer. She is not the burst, and as soon as you combine it with the glowing as well as the ice queen, she will be able to dish out a lot against a utility jungler. So if you don't have the mobility, the Eve is going to be working out, and that is what exactly is happening. Daki is doing quite well onto that Eve, and looks like it will be an uncontested draw for the side of Team Untitled.
This is gonna be an... Oh, that rocket. It needed to be a little bit closer. Sadly, it's not, but... There we go, the Lord being taken, Lord slain, and Fanny wants some ham for it, but no, it's just a Void. Has to go back, 13-5 score. But right now, Kaimigu knows. He's already done his job, got the early snowball, and it's basically Shane's game, and Shane can do its best because 303 is well prepared. It's a Harris, but right now, let's see, Lord's going to be marching down from the top lane.
Yeah, and looks like the Lord will be spawning out from the top, and the lane, the towers, they do have the advantage, but there is the initiation might be coming up. Ray as well as the Phoebe is going back.
Holy One has to go back first time this time around. There's the RWM, and
Oh my
beautiful!
goodness.
That was a beautiful Curse of Blood connecting 4 members, and all of them had to flicker out of the situations. Relo was the one to use his, of course, the first skill to get out of it, so still has a flicker, but that flicker is not going to be helping that much. Look at the damage alone that's coming in from Eve, forcing back so much. Void right now, what can he do? Ray None of them have any resources except for, of course, the Revitalize. But how can it defend? There comes the Shane with the Holy Crystal. And looks like this is gonna be the end for the first game. Right now, Void trying to buy out some time. Shane already with his Zaman Force dishing out the damage. Phoebe is trying to buy out as much as time, but it's gonna be enough or not. There's the full barrage that's come in from the Beatrix, but it's not gonna be enough either. Only one gets taken down along with Void. And 2 turrets might be falling right now immediately. Okay, Relo, MLBB, YT really wants to do something about it, but Team Untitled are just relentless. But looks like they have to go back for now at least. But mid lane, there's the minions coming in.
Yeah, and looks like they will be giving the priority for the push, because the high-low sustainability is there, but he might not be able to do so.
Oh, Shane, that was a very bad mistake, diving straight into the nuke of Kimmy. But a positive trade, I would say. A marksman for a marksman. They take down one who just got the 5 kills. Right now, Daki, better watch out. But yep, she watches out because there's 2 really good frontliners taking care of her. Fanny really looks like she wants to come in back for another action, but there's already 2 inhibitors getting taken down. So Emperors, what do they have in store? Oh, Fanny takes down Void. Shouldn't have stayed in that low HP at all, and immediately goes back, of course, taking his purple. Man took his life and now taking his purple. That is a very bad humiliation. But yeah, there's only 1 inhibitor standing, and Team Emperor is just gonna be waiting for their inevitable finish. Because look at that, only one getting stuck again, alone by himself. Please, someone do something about him. But oh, Hylos comes in, but there's the Kimi dishing out the damage, but might be finally... No, Joker barely survives the scrapes at all, but there's a Fanny. Oh my god, a Fanny was almost able to take down a horse. You don't want to see that. That is really... Void right now getting stuck into the wall again. So much slow, so much damage, but there's the Phobies coming back again. RWM into the scene. The Harry dishes out the damage with the Zaman Force, the Chrono dashes. And right now, they will go back. The Lord is up. They can go for the hard way, just push in the pace because there's 2 members down, or they can wait for the Lord. Let's see. The Fanny has not responded yet. The Carmel is still waiting. Shane perhaps wants to go in. He's a little bit enthusiastic about it, but let's see. Looks like they want to go in for the base, do they? Yeah, I think they want to go in for the base. 5 members coming towards the nexus of Emperor, but they realize it's just no minion waves. They have to go for the safe option.
Yeah, it would be better they go out for the objective priority. And they, one thing I would like to highlight for the side of Team Emperors, Beatrix is on 511 KDA. So damage wise, I do believe she is the main damage source with the Kimi as well. But okay, they will be trying to commit, I guess.
They tried to commit, but was it just enough? It might not be, because Shane takes down only one again, but he won't be the only one falling because it's a double kill. One really doing his absolute best, but of course at 1 HP, what can you do? Oh, trying to buy a time, but he's the only one standing. The only thing he can do. Rose Gold kicked in. Look at the lifesteal. He could be an MVP, but sadly he's on the rocket. That was close. That was close, but one. What can you do? Your base is already exposed and it got taken down completely.
So unfortunate, man, but kudos to him as well. But still, it will be Team Untitled taking the game, as well as they, this is, I guess this is the confirmation for them that they have made their space, like they have made their slot onto the Swiss stage, and they will be competing onto the Swiss stage as well. But the BOC is not yet over. They only needed 1 win, as you mentioned, and they got it. So Untitled, let's see what they have in store onto the second game. Meanwhile, Team Emperors, I guess the drafting, they decided to go out with the utility jungler, but their drafting kind of crumbled up as the Florin as well as the support bands were coming up onto the second phase. So as you mentioned, onto the first phases of the pick, it would be better if they went out for the support and the Fredrid. Maybe the scenarios would have been different, but Untitled will be taking the game number 1.
Yep, definitely. And no, Zero, I won't welcome you. You're welcome into the next game, okay? Yeah. But yeah, you stay there. No, you stay there. But of course, Zero will be joining us from the second game. But wait a second. I just want to confirm with our production, of course. Will we see the results screen or will we take a break? If it's a break, please go for it. But yeah, if it's a result screen, Zero. Yeah, Zero, join us. Her train was extremely slow. Zero, were you able to witness the game?
I was there around the last part of the game where they
Uh-huh.
were supposed to take the Lord, but then again I could not really pay attention because oh my goodness, I was hearing you guys talk and it does seem like it was quite the heated match, but
Mhm.
yeah, overall it was really exciting to hear.
Don't go out in Guwahati during Saturday, guys. Especially in the evening. You're gonna be stuck there forever. Zio went out at morning 10 a.m. and she has not returned until now. That is insane, guys. But yeah, that is metrocity for you guys. A lot of jam, a lot of insane jam. But anyways, this was I feel like Untitled led with a very dominating game, and of course that Fanny pick was. I feel like they were not prepared to deal with it. Absolutely not. And I also feel like the execution part is a little bit lacking, honestly. Itami, what do you think?
Yeah, because I think it's the execution as well as the draft. Because as I said already, a support combined with a Fredrin would have been better compared to the Hydos room. The initiations they were trying to initiate, but at that point, the farm difference was way too much. And even if they committed with those team fights, it was not working out for them at all. The Fredrin sustainability was definitely not there because the Fanny was overfarmed. And as soon as the team fight was approaching, Carmela she came up with the curse of blood, and Daki just combined it with the real world manipulation play. And being a Eve, you have the advantage against the utility kind as well as the roamer. So they had the advantage and they made full use of it.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, Zio cannot do any input because she was out. Tie. No, it was not a good delivered pun. Okay, but I just feel like Emperors, regardless that they're out of the competition, this their participation, of course, into Wildcard Stage was, of course, it is valued. They were here and they gave a lot of great performances with other teams. They came in a little bit short, but of course, we're gonna be looking out for them in other tournaments. I feel like the draft isn't that bad. It can be improved. Like let's say 6 out of 10. But I feel like the execution is honestly falling off a little bit short. They need to play a little bit aggressive on some parts, and they also need to have a lot more synergy. I feel like the synergy is quite less, but it's okay. It's a wildcard stage, and this is where wild teams come in with new strategies and give us things that we would love to see. But of course, I'm just yapping here because I want to see the result screen, because I feel like the MPP was a close one between the Fanny and Shane, but Kaimiku at the end was very Rambo. He was going all in many times because he knew if he dies, there's no issue. The bounty is already gone. All he needs to do is make space for his team, or at least take down the Kimi by himself. And he did it really well.
Exactly, and they actually didn't have that much chance to engage. And the early game aggression actually, as soon as the game started, Fanny she had the buffs and she directly went out for the Fredrin when he was trying to take out his purple. So maybe if the he had some support out there, then the first blood wouldn't have been drawn, and the early game advantage would have different kind of consequences. But unfortunate for them, man. And I do hope Untitled, if you are going out for the utility, make sure that you are going to be picking out the support as soon as possible, because leaving it out for the second phase of the draft is only going to make them ban them out. So it is so obvious for the Fredrin, you can be going out with a Matilda and a Florin, and they just banned it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And because of it, I don't think their draft were that bad. Their draft was actually good, but yeah, I would argue that the fourth ban was a little unnecessary because, but at the same time, I feel like yeah, you can't downplay a Gatot Kacha either. But I feel like oh, there we go, the result screen, 12 minutes 43 seconds, and Zio, I think you can join us right now. Give us analysis. Come on, by what you see.
Oh, looking at the results screen, we do see Badang. He been playing it out quite well, right? Being the frontline paired with that Carmilla up as well. I think as you guys were mentioning, Daki along with Joker with the Carmilla Eve combo, right? I think it did work out really, really well in their favor. And oh, the score is just 25-8. That is quite a huge mark, I would say. And despite Kimmy onto the side of Team Venom, I think they were not able to, utilize her out to her full potential.
Mhm. Don't worry about slight glitches, guys. Fredrin did not die 45 times. If he did, the system will ban him. But yeah, jokes aside, it's the huge shout out to the production for putting up such great efforts only for wildcard stages. But because a lot of, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of tournaments like they keep the best for Swiss. But it's really nice that even at wildcard we're getting such great production. So huge shout out to, of course, Indian Gaming Corps for presenting this Mythic Showdown Season 1 so beautifully. And right now, we're going to be taking a short break, or are we going to be diving straight into game number 2? Do confirm it with it, because if it is, Zio, you got to take it over, man, because, of course, I've been covering for you for a whole hour, man. But yeah, I think Zio will be of course, the hype train, because her train was slow, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely, I would be taking over. I owe you a lot, Ray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you owe me a practice session. You owe me a practice session of
yes.
we'll practice, okay, later on.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I'll make it up to you later. But yeah, thanks a lot. And I was not able to witness the first game, and it was kind of my
Yep.
bad. But well, can't blame the whole situation either. But really
Yeah.
excited for the second match because best of three. I think almost for all the matches I've casted, it did go for a 2-0 all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
it would be quite saddening if this match also, went a 2-0, but I'm still hoping for a 2-1 by either of the teams, so gotta keep the
Mm-hmm.
spirit alive.
Of course, but yeah, Zivo, don't worry, we all chill here. I'm just playing around, joking. Of course, we appreciate you coming here. It's always because casters also have a heavy life and giving time. And I mean, we gotta appreciate the casters more. I mean, we appreciate their skills always, but of course, we appreciate their timings and everything. And of course, welcome back, Zivo. Right now, you can join in as we're gonna be diving into the game number 2 of Emperors and Untitled. And right now, I'm gonna be dipping as Zivo and Itami will take it over from here. Of course, Zivo is going to be the one giving you the hype of those team fights, while Itami would be the analysis, right, Itami? So, anyway, Zivo, take it over from here. It's Emperors versus Untitled. Game number 2, Untitled, 1 match point.
Thank you so much for breaking it down for us, Ray. And back to game number 2. First match point onto the side of Team Untitled, and already a ban out there. First would be the Matilla from the side of Team Emperors. Quite the standard bans. Nothing can go wrong while banning the Matilla. But Itami, I would like to ask you, what kind of bans are you expecting from both of these teams?
Last time, Emperors, they went out with the utility kind of jungler, so it actually didn't work out, and they are going out with a similar kind of ban. The Mathila is the first ban priority once again, and Team Untitled, they had actually the Harith onto their hands, but this time they are just banning it out, maybe just not giving out the Harith as well as not picking him out. They might be having some different kind of strategy onto the gold lane this time. But the question is, maybe Untitled, they might be going it out with another flashy kind of an assassin out of the jungle, or maybe they might be going out with a utility like Ray mentioned before. The Baksha was also a priority pick for the side of Team Untitled. We are yet to see it, but Emperors, one thing I would like to actually highlight is the bans are looking pretty similar to the first game as well. They were targeting out the Roma ban priority. It was the Matilda as well as the Joyhead for the first phases of the ban, and it is kind of looking similar, but this time they are banning out the. So maybe they have strategized it out, and they have made the wise decision to not give out the Fanny.
Mm, certainly, Fanny, despite her nerves, right, she is usually the kind to, poke you around with her cables because she is quite the nimble assassin. But aside from the Fanny, the Jawhead, though, I believe he's a pick-off hero, so of course you gotta be careful about the Jawhead out as well. But it did leave out quite a lot of heroes, including the Florin for the side of Untitled, as Emperors. They did pick out the Kalea as a first pick. So a Florin Suyo, Florin Alpha combo would work out really well, and a Bastia Florin might also work out. And we can't forget Fredrine out there as well. But right now we can't really say much because Untitled, they are just using their brain to the full potential to be able to get this match point to their hands in their hands. Maybe go for a clean sweep. But a Kalea in the first pick, a really strong one. It does leave out Badang out as well, but
Oh,
oh, okay. Kimmy in the mid, and this time Iritel onto the goal lane. So definitely looking strong for Untitled as well.
I guess they are just going out with the comfort because Erithel, it's just not the movement, but the burst potential that comes up from her as soon as she gets those itemizations, she is still meta, and the mobility from her. If a burst kind of AOE kind of a marksman or a gold laner comes up from the side of Team Emperors, Irithel is actually a good answer. So Irithel pick will be a safer pick as well as maybe the comfort pick for the side of Team Untitled as well. And the Kimmy, she is a flex pick, but the gold laner has already been picked out, so
Mm.
definitely a mid lane Kimmy coming up. And after the revamp, we are seeing a lot of Kimmy picks from the teams lately, and it is quite valid because after the revamps, he has been rising up quite onto the tournament as well as onto the rank scene. But okay, Emperors, they have decided to go out with not a utility actually, but a fighter jungler. This time it is going to be that Suyo followed by the Gatot Kacha. So the question is, the Kalea or the Gatot? Which of them is going to be going on onto the roam?
Oh, onto the roam, right? I think people usually go for the Kalea roam because on EXP, I don't think people use her on the EXP much, right? Given that she does provide heal, but if it is just you in the EXP lane, the heal just goes to waste. So I guess people usually go for the roam, keeping that in mind. But right now, we do see the counter of Gatot and Kalea, the CC picked up by Team Untitled out there. They do not have a good frontliner, at least for now. But if we look at the bans, two magic heroes, two maids targeted by Untitled this time. And just
Oh,
leaving out the joy onto the band.
it,
Just, ooh, gonna be. Oh, what can I even
it's
say here? Oh,
oh my goodness.
okay.
The
Chip.
chip was completely open, and they will be having that early game advantage once again if the chip is able to initiate quite well. Because Chip, he doesn't have that much HP, but initiation wise, he has a lot of crowd control. Actually, not a crowd control, but individual kind of a control he has. And if someone is actually trying to escape onto the early phases, he can actually be the one just going in with the movement speed as well as the attacks attack potential he has. So spell wise, I do think Petrify as well as the Flicker can be good. Oh my goodness, long time no see Louis and Emperors. They have decided to go out with the Beatrix once again. The draft, draft wise, it's only the Beatrix which is the same compared to the game number one. Completely different lineup, but they have decided to go out with the Beatrix as well. Against the Irithel, it works out when you have the sniper for your side because it will be giving out you the range. But Untitled, what will be they responding with? Because the jungler position is open once again. So, in my opinion, they might just go out with the instead of a utility, they might actually go out with the assassin once again.
Oh, definitely an assassin to burst out all the heroes, but
Oh, never mind,
no!
never mind,
They
never mind.
decide to go for a utility jungle that would be the Fredrin out. Ah, okay. Gotta be this is gotta be interesting. They did lack a proper frontliner, so I guess they are gotta be using the Fredrin as a frontliner and paired up with that chip. Although Fredrin and his appraiser's rat would work out well if Chip lands his the portal out right where it should be. But it is quite tricky to pull off such a move given that they do not have anyone with a solid CC, right? So they do have to be quite careful about their positioning. One wrong portal move and it is quite game over. Same with Luoyi as well. I get it why they picked up the Luoyi to match up with Chip at least, you know, with her teleportation. But
Oh,
yes, it is a yin and yang diversion. Oh,
Sasuke and Sakura.
Sasuke and Sakura out there just romancing their way in the land of dawn. But yes, second match of this best of 3 series. Gonna be a lot interesting than the first match.
Yep, hopefully. This time, it's Team Untitled with the Fredrin onto their hands, and maybe they are trying to make a statement that this is how Fredrin is supposed to be executed, or maybe not, but this will be the game number 2, the decider match for the side of Team Untitled, actually, because if they are able to clean sweep it out, the series will be over. They are still trying to initiate quite early onto those T5s. Kalea onto, a bad position, I would say, might actually be able to use out a flicker, but still, the flicker was not baited out. They are going out with that early game aggression. Zuyo is still there. The level 4 mark has already been up, and looks like the initiation has been coming up.
Yep, definitely initiation coming in, but oh my goodness, Nischan will be getting away with her vengeance and a slither of HP, but Joker onto the back line coming in with Daki as well, the Soul Slasher, Soul Sever coming in from Suyo. But first blood onto the hands of Luo Yi with her yin and yang combo. Joker gets taken down first in that onslaught. Quite a good start taking out the roam, but bottom lane though for Fredrin, kind of looking to go for Beatrice, but the turtle is in top lane, so they might have to shift their attention. We do see them out there, but oh well, they do need to brace it out.
Yeah, and turtle about to be spawned. Coming up the Kalia as well as the Beatrix, they were trying to actually pressure it out, but looks like Fredrin will be the one contesting the turtle first. Untitled, they are going out for that objective gameplay because the damage dealers, the Kimi as well as the Erithel, they will be needing out some farm in order to actually dish out some damage. And I do believe early game aggression belongs for the side of Team Emperors because you have the Suyo for your side as well, but the Kalia coming up from with those folks, but the zoning coming out from the side of Team Untitled looks like they will be able to get the first objective.
Unless Gatot pulls up an AOG. I mean, he's kind of looking for it, but Nischan is there. For the portal gets used up right there, and that is the slam. But AOG connecting onto 2 people out there. Nischan gets taken out in the hands of Luo Yi, followed up by the appraisers, right? But not doing much damage. Kaimku getting away, but Daki does take out 1 kill. Joker gets taken down as well. A lot of heroes falling down for the side of Team Emperors. Untitled, and that Luo Yi gets taken down up as well. 3-2 score, 2-for-2 trade as of now, and both the teams are looking for an almost equal gold out there.
Yeah, Team Untitled, they have the crowd control advantage onto the stream fights, but the damage is not there. One is the only one once again onto that lane, and he will be taken down onto the process. And looks like Untitled, they don't have the early game advantage, but team fight wise, you have the Fredrin for your side. So crowd control is definitely coming up. Oh my god, Kare was trying to initiate onto Shane, but the range was definitely not there, as well as the flicker was not there. So maybe if she had the flicker and the ultimate was timed out onto time, Erithel would have been taken down.
Yeah, flicker combo, right? But once again, teleport used by Chip out there. Only one gets in with AOG. All 5 of them out there battling it out, and Kaimku is the first one to fall. But Tsunami Slam coming in. Joker inside the turret gets taken out in the hands of only 1. Double kill in his hands, and Nischan. But oh my goodness, the ground breaker from Ray. She would be just jumping into the hands of the into the mouth of the lion, gets taken down by Irithel. So definitely a trade won by the side of Team Untitled, given that they have a bit more gold compared to Emperors.
Definitely, and looks like the turtle will be up anytime soon. Untitled having better advantage as well as the goal lead. Early game wise, Emperors, they were pulling it out, but Untitled, they already got that control because of their discipline. They focused more onto their objectives, and they are actually the objective wise gameplay is actually paying them off. But Sasuke, you need to be a bit aware because maybe he can be initiating. Okay, RWM comes up.
The diversion onto the backline, right? Turtle definitely secured by the side of Untitled, but reload, that was not a good engage with Gatot Kacha. Both of them will be getting taken down. Untitled, they are just getting more and more advantage in this match as of now. In Emperor, they are not able to do anything, but oh my goodness, Ray will be forced to get back because his HP is already very low. But right now, Joker trying to maybe poke around Void, but he does not have his teleport, so
Oh, Void, Void,
it might be.
Void needs to go back. Look at the Kimi Daki trying to initiate, and there comes the kill. Initiation's right on time, and they are actually able to pay it off. And one mistake I kind of made, it was not the RWM, but the diversion coming from the Luo. It could have been more better, but I guess it's because of the farm advantage that the other team has, and looks like they will be trying to engage once again.
Yep, trying to engage once again.
Oh my
Oh my goodness, Ray gets taken down by Kanku right inside his own turret. Very sad to see Sakura falling down out there, but oh well, game is game, and Untitled getting more and more advantage. Despite having the early game disadvantage in their hands, they have been able to play it out really well. But oh my goodness, Beatrix once again falling down, but Kanku gets taken out as a revenge, but oh my goodness, Void gets caught off guard by 4 people, gets taken out onto the top lane. Perfect use of the portal summoned up by Chip and the top lane turret in their hands as well.
Yeah, and looks like Untitled they will be able to get another of the objective that will be the tier 2 tower actually. And maybe they might actually not go out for the turtle considering the fact they already have the lead, and it would actually be better they just wait out for that 8th minute Lord. Look at the Kimi, Daki. It's the Kimi is not only just a marksman. The reason why she is played onto the mid lane is because oh my god, the crowd control.
Ooh, a tsunami slam coming in from Ray out there. Nishan gets taken down. Daki gets the killing spree in his hands by taking out Kalea. But AOG onto the backline won't be connecting onto anyone, but shut down definitely there for Kimi by our Relo MLBB YouTube, the Luo Yi in his hands, using her towards to till her full max potential out there, despite dying a bit here and there, but still a great use of Luo Yi. But still, coming in more taunt. The taunt is there. Wow, praises, Rat. They're caught very low. Void gets taken down in the hands of Irithel with her heavy crossbow coming in. That is a double in the hands of Shane. One gets taken down as well. That is 4 people down for the side of Team Empress, and Untitled just out there looking to dominate the whole map once again.
They only just lost their jungler, and instead of that, they got a 4-for-1 trade for their side. The god has already been spawned. Look at the Kimi, and Irithel was trying to dive in. Look at the critical damage from her, but maybe she has the Malefic gun, but still the damage was not enough. And it would be better for their side if they just go out for the Lord. They were trying to contest out for the lead, but somehow Suyo was able to get it. But Daki will be going out for that objective gameplay, and looks like the Mardara will be, taken down anytime soon from the hands of Team Untitled.
Yep, the mid lane Kimi with the golden Irithel is working out really, really well for the side of Team Untitled out there. But Portal gets summoned up by Chip on towards the side of Empress, right inside Traction Claws, picking up 3 people. But the Appraiser's rat to do the damage, but Luo is the one to fall down. AOG onto the back line as well. Only one gets taken down in the hands of Nishan. That is a double kill. 2 people down once again, but Kanku trying to go for a Praises Rat. Won't be connecting. Void does take out Kanku there. Oh, bad initiation coming in from Kanku, but Ray really low. But oh my goodness, the beams coming in from Daki and her Kimi, just dealing all the damage. Gets away with that sliver of HP. Lord definitely marching in from the mid lane.
Yeah, the lane syncing is also quite up to the point, I would say, but it's only from the mid lane. So the Madara, while minions spawning from the top as well as from the bot side, they will be trying to initiate as much as possible. If Cutout actually comes up with a really good AOG play, the consequences might be different, but okay, the play has been coming up.
Ray escapes with a slit of HP once again, same with Joker, but AOG connecting onto no one. Kanku goes for an engage, but no. Oh my goodness, the amount of damage dishing out by Shane, it is just too much. The crit, it is definitely critting, and it's definitely hurting a lot. They have to be careful of that Luo Yi. Apparently, except for Void, there is no one to burst her down. But once again, Ray really, really low. But oh well, the pressure definitely there onto their inhibitors.
Oh my god, Shane gets another kill. There is, but okay, they won't be committing. But Ray,
Oh
oh
my
my
goodness, a
goodness.
Jesus rat from Arkanku takes out Ray out there. Oh my goodness. Although Luo Yi is dealing a lot of damage, it's just not enough. But Frozen with the crowd out there, but no. Beatrice decides it is time for us to start raining. Emperors, they did manage to defend their inhibitors for now, but how long can they be able to? Because the objective wise, they have not secured even a single turret, and coming out of their base right now, it is looking quite hard given the amount of pressure that they are giving. But oh, Daki, okay, gets away.
All of the five of them is absolutely 0% at this point. Okay, the teleportation play is up. Chip was trying to initiate, but okay, they will be kind of late. But I think Untitled, they will just be going out for the Lord instead of trying to get more trades, because you have the damage dealers. It is the Irithel as well as the Kimmy. But what if they are not onto the position to be actually initiating a team fight? That will be one of the problems. But okay, Irithel, look at on the bot side. Oh my goodness, this guy.
Damage with the heavy crossbow godlike coming in his side, but the appraiser's round won't be connecting as he gets taken down. Daki out there as well, but Irdal double in his hands. Mega for any shutdown coming in from one. That is three people down for both the sides, and their marksmen and the tanks are the only one remaining. It is a battle between the damage dealer and its protector, but Irdal once again heavy crossbow, a lot of damage dishing out, and Gato Kata gets melted out. Legendary in the hands of Shane. One is the only one remaining, and the Lord might just be in the hands of Team Untitled, given that they're at a landslide of an advantage here, Tommy.
You know, one thing I would like to highlight is overfarmed Irithel is so damn scary, and it is actually showing it up. Okay, another team fight might be coming. Has been used out by the chip, but they won't be initiating anymore because the Lord is already up, and this Lord, it is not the evolved one, but still it will be having a lot of HP compared to the first Lord, and they will be able to actually just be able to melt it down. And it would be better for the side of Team Untitled if they just sing those lanes and end the game as soon as possible, even if they don't have the late game in side of Team Emperors. It is going out quite well for them. Look at the crowd control. Oh, Louis just goes down on process, and they were trying to initiate with the AOG. One finally gets a kill, a 1-for-1 trade. It's actually a 2-for-0 actually, and Untitled once again getting the odds for their side. The Lord will be spawning from the top side, and they might actually be able to end the game. And they will, just trying to play it out. They will just try to sing those lanes and end the game as soon as possible.
Yep, definitely trying to end the game, right? Because Luoyi and Beatrix, they have been playing it pretty well, and they have been farming up, and we can see with the damage that they dish out, right? But just thinking if it's gonna be enough. But
Oh
once
my
again,
goodness.
on to kind to get the tsunami slam from RK, right? Their portal gets used up once again, but a praises grab onto Ray gets taken down. Oh my goodness, one is not able to do anything at all. Has to switch out the IS, has to switch.
Oh, and they are left with no towers for their sides. The minions are still not there, so it would be better for the side of Team Untitled. They waited out. They actually could have been actually able to end the game, but maybe that overextension that came up from the side is the reason why Team Emperors, they are still able to hold it out somehow, even if that remains with none of the towers to the side. So I do believe unless the chip comes up with a really good teleportation play, they will not try to engage. Oh, speak of the devil, there comes the initiation. Kalea was taken down onto the process, and she will just be going back. Oh, overcommitting onto a team fight right now is definitely not a good idea for the side of Team Emperors. As soon as they are taken down, they will just directly go out for the base. So it will be quite problematic at this point.
Yep, definitely quite problematic at this point, right? Ikami, so right now I think Emperors, they do have damage coming in from their side. But oh, traction falls onto the back line. Ray just gets melted out by Daki. This might be the final stretch as Team Empress. They are forced to go back with their roamer getting taken down. But oh my goodness, still a lot of damage from Daki out there. ALG onto the back line. Will be getting away with the
Just goes
Kacha, but
back.
Daki as well. That slither of HP. They are all quite low, so they can't really engage much. So kind of a win situation for the side of Team Empress. But is it enough for them to go and contest for the Lord?
Yeah, definitely. And this will be the third Lord. It is an evolved Lord, maybe, or okay, it has already.
So not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So evolved Lord is not the case, but okay, RWM play. Maybe they will be trying to commit on to, but no, they won't be taking the risk actually, and that will be a third Lord for the side of Team Untitled. The game is kind of stretching, but hopefully they will be trying their best to end this game as soon as possible with this Lord.
They have been trying to end the game ever since the second Lord, right? But they were just not able to because of the lane clearance from our Beatrix and the Luoyi all together. So they have been quite struggling. Despite them winning in team fights, their HP was too low and they could have been bursted down anytime. So they have been playing it out quite safe. But I guess they are, growing a bit impatient. And this is where the match point would be, right? You have to keep your mind cool so that you do not make any mistakes. But right now, Madara definitely marching in. Might be the final stretch. Traction falls on to only one is really, really low. AOG connecting onto two people out there, but only one that is
my
gets taken down. But onto the back line, oh my goodness, the tsunami slam right onto the base. Fredrin gets taken down out there, but base is wide open for their side. Will they be able to defend the Lord? Yes, they do, but a lot of minions are still coming in. From our Shane gets onto Ray, but he does have his heal, so they will still be surviving this onslaught. Oh my goodness, unstoppable for Beatrice out there on the mission. But Shane gets taken down by Ray out there. Definitely a lot of overextension, and that is a full sweep coming in from the side of Team Empress. Final strike. Will they be able to end Itami?
Daki's all, but still, maybe this was the opening that they actually wanted, and maybe they might be able to get at least one tower for this. Okay, Daki is right onto the time, so you are on. Now he has his somehow he had his immune CC. That is the reason why he just goes back. But they because of that wipeout, they were actually able to secure at least one tower.
Definitely, they were able to secure at least one tower, right? That will be the mid one. So they did get an opening, but it's still not enough yet because this Lord that is about to spawn in 30 seconds, right? It is gonna be the evolved Lord. So I guess both the teams might just be looking to contest for the Lord, given that they have the equal amount of gold, almost equal amount of gold. But team fight wise, Team Untitled might be the one to come out on top. But still, if they do execute it out well, both the teams have almost equal chances to get that Lord. But
evolved Madara. Evolved Madara. So yeah, this is going to be tough. Maybe Louis as well as Team Emperors, they will be trying to come in with that RW play, or maybe not. It will be quite risky actually, and they are not on pole position to be actually contesting a team fight. That will be diversion.
Oh my goodness! No, the Lord was not able to be secured by the side of Team Empress despite the diverging gameplay. But yeah, they were still able to take out one person, right? Daki out there, but Joker onto the look at that 1 versus 1 situation coming in. But Nishchan does take that kill. Boy, just running around the map with the Lord marching very, very fast from the side of Team Untitled. Might be the final stretch this time. But Fredrin is not letting Suya recall at all while his base is in danger. Madara arrives in base, but three of them are trying their best to defend the base, but it won't be enough as the base HP is really low. But Monster coming in from Beatrix. One more hit, and Team Untitled gets the victory.
The victory as well as the clean sweep for the side of Untitled. They already, secured the Swiss stages, but a dominant victory, a clean sweep coming out from their side, 2-0. So quite a dominating performance, I would say. And Ray, give me your thoughts regarding this match.
Honestly, this time around, at least Emperors, I feel like they stuck around much better than previously, right? Because of the
Yeah.
fact that I feel like they were much more resilient and persistent this time around. But yeah, it was honestly, it was. I was kind of seeing a little bit of a chance for bounce back, or like I like to say, clap back. But oh, what can we do? Emperors, though, this time around, I would definitely say I saw way more resilience than the previous game. And I feel like it worked out much, much better for them. But anyways, on to the other hands, Emperors, they picked up the Fredrin. They were like, hey, let us show you how to do a Fredrin. I feel like Kaimiku definitely a little bit of an ego play here, but I love to see it. But anyways, regardless of that, they one highlight of the match though is the Kalia slamming Fredrin into the base.
Oh
Like
yes,
Kaimiku was
yes.
like I literally choked on my water because I was drinking while it happened. It caught me so off guard. Like I mean, that was that was really hilarious thing. It can be clipped even, but nah, I feel like Kaimiku was just a little bit too confident. But yeah, one more thing is the match definitely extended a little bit more than necessary, right? But yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
overall, Emperors did a really great job, and I would love to see the MVP this time around. And I want to see the MVP from the hands of course, Emperors as well, because I feel like they also had a much better presence than previously. I feel like the Gotot really gave them a lot of confidence boost, but at the same time, yeah, congratulations to Untitled for making it to the playoff stages, basically the Swiss. And of course, from their group, Emperors will have to say goodbye because this is the last day of the wildcard stage. But still, they gave a really great performance, and we're just going to be waiting out for the result screen. Tell me, who's the MVP for you? Not the one with the statistics, the MVP from the hands of Untitled, the uncalled MVP.
Uncalled, I would not say, but Irithel was actually dissing out a lot of
Mhm.
between the Irithel as well as the mid lane Kimmy, because the crowd control were also coming up from her, and she was not taken down quite much, but except for that Katur Kacha dive once
Mhm.
onto that Lord fight. So if Daki was not taken down onto that process, then maybe they would have been able to end it onto the second Lord as well. So the game kind of overextended. They needed the World Lord, and as you said, Emperors came up with a better fight compared to the previous game. So the cutout was one of the key reasons why they were actually able to hold it out somehow, even if they didn't had any towers for their side. As soon as the second lord like marched up and took all of their towers, but somehow they hold it up. But maybe onto that third lord, if Loi with the diversion, if all of the five people came up and tried to commit onto that lord, then the consequences as well as the lot still would have been happening and the game would have been overextended. But uh, Untitles, they had different plans. The Irithel as well as the chip, they were zoning them out a lot on that base. Even if five people were trying to commit, Irithel as well as the chip, they would just be clearing out those lanes and the team fights would have been happening onto the, but Irithel would have just ended the game and went to the base with the backdoor.
Mm-hmm. Well, for Emperor Zero, who do you think was the MVP? Definitely.
Oh, for Empress, right? Two, I would say Beatrix and Louis all together because those two were the ones who were trying their best, even if their positioning was really on point despite their whole team falling apart from all of the engages coming in from the side of Team Untitled. They were able to hold their ground, able to go up against the side of Team Untitled, and around the around the last moments of the game, they were able to master gold equally and almost had equal chances of winning the game. But for me, it would definitely be either one of them. But yeah, can't forget, still can't forget the tsunami slamming into the own base. That was just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I would honestly, I'm still waiting for what do you say? at least interest to stages, I would absolutely really love to see the, what do you say, like more better divergence. Absolutely. What do you guys think? Yeah, I would love to see more divergence, honestly. But yeah, honestly, what do you say? Untitled, congratulations to them for moving on to the Swiss stages, but they will be now facing the Mythic leaderboard teams. Itami, like, of course, you know them very well. It's Tartarus and the new lineup for eliminators. I mean, Zero is the one who knows the best. But yeah, of course, they're going to be meeting the teams from the Mythic leaderboard. So, Untitled, do you think they're going to be performing good with this kind of a lineup, or they're going to be struggling? There's still more way, like they need to more practice. Okay, Itami is still thinking. Zero, what do you think? Untitled against the Mythic leaderboard teams.
Oh, well, let me, I would say Untitled, they do have the potential, but there were quite the holes around the whole game that we just saw. There were quite some mistakes that they made. So if they do reflect on their mistakes and just focus on their team coordination more, then they can definitely go on par with the teams. But in their current level, right, they're like 4 or 5 steps down the top teams. Not criticizing, but still they can
Of course,
definitely
don't worry.
go on to the top. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's
Don't worry. There's a
apparently,
screen.
yeah. We do see the screen and Shane with the MVP actually for the side of Team Untitled as well as the Beatrix. Look at, the Beatrix will be the MVP for the side of Team Emperors, which is quite valid because it's not about the KD actually. The damage was there definitely, but the initiation, why look at the gold lead actually. Beatrix has more gold compared to the Erithel. So if the team fight initiation, if she was actually given the space to be using her bazooka ult as well as the Nibiru's passion, then maybe the consequences would have been quite different. But the zoning coming out from the side of Team Untitled was way too much because you have the Fredin for your side and the crowd control wouldn't have been there. So the Beatrix, kudos to him, but still the MVP loss, it kind of, it's kind of odd, I would say.
Mm-hmm. But overall, yeah, Beatrix really did the job phenomenal. Other than that, it was a 20 minutes game. Irithal, of course, getting the MVP. There were 2 teleportations this time around, but of course, Chip being the more dominant force that they had to be dealt with. But this time around, of course, the game was also extended a little bit more than necessary. But I feel like it was the resilience of Emperors that stayed. They were like, we want to force a game number 3 at any cost. But Untitled were the ones who came out on top. Oh, look at Kalia. She's the only one who's 3D. Rest are all like 2D. She's like, nah, I'm gonna become 3D right now. But overall, builds, everything, it's honestly good. There's nothing much to say about the builds. Everything all fine. Kimmy, everything is all fine overall. But that was it. Congratulations to, of course, Untitled for moving forward to the next rounds into the Swiss stages where they're going to be battling out with a lot of other teams. And it's not going to be that easy, is it? Because they're the teams that are going to be in the Mythic leaderboard. They are there for a reason. But let's see how they perform, of course. Of course, thanks to Itami and Zero coming up for casting this game. Amazing performance overall. Huge shout out to the IGC, production crew, and of course management. And right now we're gonna be taking a break until the next game. But of course, if you want to participate in the giveaway, the bots in the YouTube chat I've already mentioned, just type down below hashtag Mythic Showdown and say your favorite team, and you will get the chance to win. Be one of the 3 winners of the 10,000 diamond pool. So if you want it, better go for it. And right now, we're going to be taking a short break to make space for the last match of the Wildcard stages. It's going to be Experiment 5 versus Daku Sena, which is going to be happening at around 8:50 to 9 p.m. Indian time. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। कद देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है थोड़ा सा, फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, पॉप
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mythic Showdown, and this is gonna be the Wildcard Stage. And as you know, we are already on the verge of completing this stage, and right now we are in the final game of the night and of the Wildcard Stage as well. But before that, I gotta introduce myself to you all. I'm Shinryu, and I'm joined by the talented, of course, Ash TZ for this game. So, Ash, how are you feeling for this matchup between Team Experiment 5 taking on against Team DS?
Obviously, thank you so much, Shinryu. I mean, after a long time, we're here for casting together. I mean, I think it was last like maybe 2 3 weeks. But right now, again, back with you. It's a fun thing. But right now, as you asked me that how it will going for Experiment 5 and DS, so sadly, Experiment 5 is out of the tournament right now. I mean, they can't compete for the top 16 of Mythic Showdown. But to have the image to if they wants to, I mean, don't go without any points in their hand. They need to win this match against DS. I mean, we have seen that this team has been in the elite leaderboard, and DS being the top of this Group B of Mythic Showdown wildcard stage. If they're gonna win this match, I mean, it will not be effective for them because they can't compete in the top 16. But at least they will not go with a lose. They will be happy that we end up with a win. So that's why I will say that they need to play well. They need to win this match at least.
And rightfully you mentioned, Team Experiment 5, they're yet to score a point against their opponents. They're sitting at a point zero. So they really need to, get some victory in this match. But again, Team DS, they are pretty much on the safe side, scoring almost being the top of the leaderboard in their group at least. And, what's better way than just diving into the draft, right? And currently we will see Team Experiment 5 on the blue side and Team Daku Sena, that is going to be DS on the red side. So I think so far the meta has been shifting quite back and forth, but at the end of the day, right, the meta is still gonna be shaped by those tanky chunky frontliners, which really starts the tempo of this game. The initiations really need to be on point for these teams.
Obviously, and if you talk about the meta, the support meta is also going on right now. We have been seeing Florin as well as the Matilda getting banned. As you said about the utility jungler thing, tanky and chunky heroes, that's because the support meta is coming on, and dominance ice, or if you say about sea halberd, glowing one, all these anti-heal items are having the nerf right now. That means a possible fighter meta is also coming on in next season. Maybe we're gonna see some Yuzong or a lot into the game section again and again for next season. But for right now, also there is a good meta going on with this chunky heroes, and we have been seeing the Kalea, Matilda, like this type of heroes are getting banned. And look at that, Matilda will be taken out from the first ban from Experiment 5. Maybe we're gonna see a Kalea ban as well from Dakusena.
Probably so, like you mentioned, the support meta really is taking place, and this just speaks for the Ube stats once again. Something we were really accustomed seeing back in the Blacklist International days. So I'm really excited to see that. But again, the Florin is something I think a lot of teams do like to go for on the blue side. So Dakusena should be careful of that pick as well, because no amount of anti heal can cancel that global heal. So I think that's a good hero to have if you want to go for the tanky heroes or the fighter type of meta. But again, the Moscow being banned from the side of Team Dakusena just speaks that might be a target ban, or they're aiming for the Harith goal lane. Either of the one, right?
Yep, and I probably say that today I've been seeing lately so many Moscow matches. If you will ask me, I was casting at Nordwin and RRG then. I saw that a Moscow literally changed the whole game. So maybe that's the reason Moscow is having a hidden buff today, maybe, and that's the what Dakusera got it, and they just banned the Moscow, and even Experiment 5 as a good Moscow player. So that's maybe the reason they just went for that Moscow ban. And look at that, Lucas will be taken out. We all know that this Lucas, Kalea, both of them are right now into the meta, and they are literally cooking it up. They know how to catch up the backliners. They know how to disrupt the backliners as well. So taking them out is a good thing. And as you said, me the Harith may be coming on from the side of Dakusena. Maybe that can be happen, because I think if after wildcard stage, if something will be out from Mythic Showdown, then it is the Harith pick. I've been seeing lately whoever having the Harith pick into their side, they're winning the match. So maybe Dakusena is planning
Oh,
for going for Harith pick, because as much as Experiment 5 wants to win this match, you can say Dakusena also wants to stay undefeated.
absolutely right. And I feel Cypher was really comfortable on the Moscow last game that I have casted for them. I've seen him using that hero and is also comfortable on the Harrod. So both of the picks can work for him. And with the trilogy meta on the goal lane being a bit nerfed, I think a lot of the other heroes are also getting the spotlight, right? The Moscow being one of them. And again, the chunky boys, like we talked about in the beginning of the draft, being banned, and also the mentioned hero Kalea by you will be taken off the chart. So I think so far the bans have been pretty sensible, nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the place. And this just opens up a lot of heroes, a lot of mages too, a lot of the heroes which likes to go for the AoE damage, as well as the tower hugging kind of mage, like the Farsa, like the Eve. So they might make a debut in these games too.
Yes, and with this, I mean, I think they will go for a Badang ban maybe, because okay, look at that.
Hey, you just called it.
Okay. I mean, I was thinking about it. It was only thing open at that moment, and a Phobius is as also there. So experiment five, if they will go with the Phobius, then I don't think the Dakusena will prioritize the Harith. But if they're going with some other heroes, just like a Florin maybe, because Florin is also open right now. Florin first pick is also adorable and acceptable, but Dakusena right now, Phobius, Harith, both are open, but they are going
Ooh.
with the Kimi. Yeah, how can I forget this girl? I mean, right now she is in the meta since her revamp, and she's totally menace. I mean, and also you can say Kimi is something. It's a totally a flex pick. It can play with the mind of the opponents. So that's what is happening when Kimi pick is coming on. I mean, if you are with a Kimi, people thinks that you are going with a mid. They ban some goal laners, and if they will think that you are with the goal, they ban some mid laners. So you can play with their mind. But right now, I was suspecting about the Florin pick from Experiment 5, but we can see the Florin as well as the Basha coming on from the Dakusena. A tanky, chunky jungler with the Florin utility will be fully there with the Dakusena. What do you think? Experiment 5 will go for a Jushin at this point. Kimi at the goal, Jushin in the front to take down the utility.
Mm, I mean, there's a high possibility that the Kimi could be used in the mid lane as well. But again, the Baxia is a really good pick coming in from the side of Dakusena, right? The Baxia can sustain the high damage the Kimi kind of, projects out. So I think that's a really smart pick. And along with the Florian, the sustain just gets skyrocketed. But instead, they're using that, Kimi into the mid lane and they're getting the carry onto their arsenal. So I think that's a good counter towards the tanky Baxia that the other team has gone for. But again, there's an instant answer coming in from the side of Dakusena, the Irthel being picked right away.
Yep, and here you go. I mean, they know that the tanky coming on from the side of Dakusena, they went for that carry pick straight. And if you want to say one more thing, that maybe that's the reason they went for a carry pick because of the high loss as well. Whenever we see a high loss in opponent side, we just thought about the carry pick. So I have seen this from Experiment 5. They always go with the comfort of their pick. I mean, if they will have a Harith, they go with a Phobius. They don't want to give the counter to the opponent side. But do you think that, I mean, the early game, if the carry will be diminished or if we'll get the backlash from the Irithel, can she be okay with the late game? I don't think so, because the snowball is needed to the carry most. I mean, if you're gonna compare it with Irithel, then carry needs the early snowball. Irithel is okay with the early snowball or not with that, because in the late game you're gonna see the spike in Irithel as well always. But right now, against a carry with the Irithel, I think it's a good pick from Dakusena. They are nationalized with their draft. Let's see with the ban coming out from them, a Sicilian from the Experiment 5 and a Dakusena from and Xbox with the Dakusena, and they will go with the Hayabusa as well. Maybe another mage will be taken out at this point. A Fursa, a Louis.
Could be. Could be, both are the viable options for them to ban. But again, both, like you were talking about the goal lane, right? The carry against Irithel matchup. I think both the heroes really rely on those items. So the early game really has to be pretty much, they have to be completely safeguarded, given the space, given the farm, so they can actually come all in much faster. The last ban is the glue from the side of Team Experiment 5. I would say that's a good ban to go for because they have already picked their mage. They cannot go for a Faramis or a Vexana to counter that pick. But again, the Baxia is definitely a signature pick coming in from Dakusena, and coupled with the Florine and the Irithel, the Baxia and Irithel has so much mobility, it's so difficult to catch, and given the short range for the carry, I think once she uses the speedy light field, they will just try to get out of the harm's way and just re-engage once again with the heal that they have. So it's gonna be quite a few back and forth. They will go in, go out, and just try to juggle around the damage. And look at that, a Masha being picked from the side of Team Dakusena. What do you have? What are your thoughts about that pick, though?
You will not believe me. For a reason, I saw some Kaja roam a day before this. So I'll not be, I mean, getting surprised from a Masha pick in the EXP, because nowadays I have been seeing these things a lot. Maybe, and these things do works against the current meta as well. I mean, if you're going with the comfort and absurd pick, which is out of a blue pick, and it do works against all these things. So maybe that's the reason they went for that Masha right now with a high damage. She can melt each and every heroes down from the early game. So they want the early game to be into their side. The glue ban, I was totally, I mean, out of the blues. The glue
Mm.
ban. was done, but there is a Masha in your side. So they may be thinking about right now because Louis, if here it will be a Louis, it will gonna help a lot to the team Dakusena. There is a Irithel. You need a teleportation. Maybe it's a chip or maybe it's a Louis. Right now the mage spot is open. Okay, no,
Oh,
they're going with the CC.
that's a Valir. So I think the disengage capability the side of Team Dakusana has is really magnified now. But again, they are tripling down on the tanky frontliner. They have a Hylos along with a Fredrin and a chip. So I mean, the only damage source that they would have would be the late game carry and another item reliant hero that's gonna be Kimi. So I think the early game reliance is pretty much how fast they can rotate around the map with the chips ultimate. So they are aiming for more groups fight than actually kind of a pick off kind of gameplay. But the other team does have a heal and a lot of CC and high damage. It's gonna be really interesting to watch because what do you think? Who has the upper hand in the early phase of the game?
I think obviously it's been Daku Sena, I think so, because if you wanna see, no damage dealers are there other than that Kimi from Experiment 5, but Masha as well as the Irithel, even Basha can give a lot of damage from the beginning. Fredrin too, but more than Fedrin, I think Basha can give more damage. So maybe Dakushena is having the upper hand right now. But with a Valir in the mate section, full of stun, I will believe that. But I think it could have been other something else. But you can say that there was no stun for them. Dakusena's pick, if you wanna see, no one's there to stun you. No one's there to grip that crowd control. Maybe that's the reason they went for that Valor. So let's see how it goes. But right now the draft is on, and we are heading into the match. This is Mythic Showdown, guys, powered by Vista. And we are here for the last match of the Wildcard Stage between Daku Sena versus Experiment 5. And it's right now here. The best of 3 series is on and is the first set. Let's see. We'll be having the match into their side as both of the teams are playing with their utility junglers. No assassin for this match. I think the match will goes great for both the sides.
Absolutely, and with the tank meta again being back, so it's gonna be a bit slow-paced gameplay, a lot of fights near the objective. So I think that's something we're gonna see again in this game too. Just a bit back and forth with the poke damage. Both the teams have to offer. The Valir versus a Kimi in the mid lane, both has a lot of poke. So they might just cut down the rotation along the sides lane and just get the advantage where they have more members to join the team fight. But that's where the chips come. Chips ultimate will be vital because they have that shortcut to go in and just take the fights much more. And talking about fight, they're already being aggressive onto the Fred, and he does have the level 4 taking in a bit of damage, but there's the high loss to just neutralize the team fight. So both the teams would just play it safe, waited a little bit longer for the objective to be spawned, and then they take the fight.
Yep, and that's a good choice. I mean, nowadays I see these things more from both the teams that they wait for the first turtle. They don't take fight in just first minute, and it's a good thing. I mean, you need the turtle, you need the EXP as well as the goal from the turtle. So you should wait for it. And I know only one team gonna win the turtle, but what if I mean the opponent's team won the turtle, you won the fight. So that's also helps you a lot. I mean, trade got same, but right now, look at that. The turtle dance already started right now with a fight coming on. Glorious Pathway.
Oh, there is a lot of damage being forced, but the Baxia will be securing the turtle with the retribution, but he's in a trouble. 4 members against 1. His team is a bit too far, and the first blood will be drawn from the side of Team Experiment 5. And who got it? It's gonna be the tanky Hylos. So they are starting off kills already, but they lost the turtle. So who got the better trade, you think?
I think it's Team Dakusena. They have the turtle. Only one kill got into the hand, so it's not a big deal. They got the turtle. They got into. They just gave the kill 1 kill, so it's like they have rationalized gold into their side. But as I said, sometimes you got the turtle, but you lose the fight. That's what happens. But high loss. Remarkably was there, and he managed to not only take down but also safely come back from the situation. That's what you need right now in this meta. But if you're gonna see the way team is channelizing their way, but I'm not happy with the Fedrin. He should have been there from the beginning when the turtle dance started. Right now, helping the goal laner to catch up the goal from the beginning to make down that carry, because they know that in the late game the carry will be fierce. So maybe that's the reason they are right now farming up at the goal end. But a possible fight is about to come. 3-man onto the Basha.
Hey, there's a shortcut as well being used. There's the appraisal rather. The damage not being enough to sustain. The heal coming in from the Flurry will be helping him survive for a bit longer. There's a flicker being expended. But the rotation again from Bagzia going for the re-engage and they will get a kill. Yamraj sending him back to the pits of hell. And they get 2 kills for none. So that's a favorable trade coming in for the side of Team Daku Sena in this fight.
The thing is right now, this what you will expect in the mid to late game. The Florin is healing right now, and that's the reason Basha didn't just flew away. He just re-engaged into the fight and got a kill at that moment. Not only 1, 2 kills for the team, and they won. Right now, you can say they perfectly won the trade after the turtle. Not only that, they're right now clearing up the top lane, but look at that, catching up with the stun.
Oh my goodness, before I could even speak, 2 members got deleted. They're looking for a third. Manser will be falling shortly after the rest too. So that's again another sheer dominance trade coming in from the side of Team Daku Sena. They are really angry after losing that first blood to the side of Team Experiment 5. And right now they got the top lane turret and they're also eyeing for that turtle as well.
Yeah, man, it's a free turtle for them. This time, you don't have any chance to come up and fight against us, took a fight against us. Because it's already 3k goal lead for our side, and Daku Sena is already set for this match. But do you saw that? Kimi with the stun coming on for the 3 people. They managed to take down the turret, then they managed to delete the Kimi as well. This is how Daku Sena is reciprocating the whole fight being taken by the side of Team Experiment 5. I mean, obviously, it was needed at that moment. Because the whole DS was overextending. They were going for the tier 1 turret in just 4 minutes of the game. So that was needed, but it was totally out of the blue that Team Daku Sena didn't just took the turret. They managed to take down the fight as well. Managed to take down some heroes as well. So it's needed for them, but Experiment 5 is kind of losing the hope right now, even the confidence. Look at that, Retrieve will be on Glorious Pathway as well as a revitalizing. I mean, no, it's from the region, from the Hylos Ult, but right now 4-man gatekeeping the way for Hylos.
Hey, that's a lot of pressure being built, but again they get a trade off on the top lane, so 1-for-1 trade, cross map play coming in, so they might get a turret on the board. So I think that's a pretty much equalized trade coming in for both the teams. They lost 1 member and they also get a turret, so pretty much a value. But again, they lost the they're getting the goal onto the goal laner, but again there's a shortcut onto the Irithel. He's in a lot of trouble. He uses that sprint just to get out of the harms, where Manser being taken down right after that, and there is the re-engage coming in from the Hylos, but he's taking in a lot of damage, does not have the revitalize, so that poke damage coming in from the lead is gonna chunk a lot of HP, and finally that turret being taken down.
I mean, can I check the item section? I think it's full of penetration right now, because the way they are penetrating the tanky Hylos as well as the Fedrin. Look at that Hunter Strike. Oh my god. I mean, Blade of Deathfire for that. Okay, before that, we're gonna see a fight at the jungle.
Hey, Kaishi will be in a lot of trouble, kind of isolated. He wanted to go for an engage all by himself, a bit too much. Then he could actually tank this time around, even with the Florin Hill. That might not have been possible because they have a carry on the opponent's side. So right like that, he will be taken down. But again, talking about the items, you were talking about the penetration. And there were a lot of penetration, right?
Obviously, I mean, they are ready for that. They know that the tanky players are there onto the side of Team Experiment 5. They will be not taking any experiment for this move, and they are going for the penetration right now. Look at that, 1 more fight about to come. Irithel is giving a lot of damage, but with a stun, they are coming onto the Yamraj at this point, and in the meantime, we can see the turtle dance already started, and it will be a free turtle again for the side of Daku Sena. 3 neutral objective being taken down by the Daku Sena, giving them a lot of EXP as well as gold right now. And look at that, the goal lead is already, I mean, still 3.6k. From the beginning, we are seeing that. From 4 minutes, we are seeing that. Oh my goodness, GG rotation coming from the Basha right now after taking the turtle. A possible fight is about to come. 4-man right now with the revitalizing coming up from the Hylos, going back into a safer zone. Before that, we can see the Florin being there as well as the Masha. She is the damage dealer, Sinryu. I mean, whenever your team fight is going on, you are looking for the Basha, you are looking for the Valir, but it's Masha who is right now kicking off each and every member of Experiment 5. Basha, Masha, what award is very, you can say similar, and they're cooking up with this duo right now.
Absolutely. It's like a tongue twister, at the end of the day, you kind of can just get a bit your tongue twisted. But again, on the mid lane, you can see there is a lot of work coming in, but none going for the fight yet. The traction pulse is there, but again, with a Vali's ultimate, he can actually immune that ultimates of Gimme, right? Like, even though they have a CC, he can just get out of the inbuilt CC, the Purify that he has. But again, we're talking about the Masha, despite not joining the team fight, she has been a nuisance, pushing those turrets, pushing those waves in, and giving so much space for the team to fight. But again, talking about space, they're kind of, narrowing it down with a chip shortcut, and they're going it. There's a lot of immobilize happening, but the smoke from Walid is definitely making things change around. And look at Masha on the back line, completely causing chaos, recalling on the faces of Team Experiment 5. They lost 3 members right now on the verge of running down for the hills. And that was a 3-for-none trade once again, completely favoring Team Dakusena. They're so clean with those team fights.
I mean, if you remember, it's not only your brains that you can take the shortcut, but the enemies are also taking the shortcut. At the moment when the fight was on, Irithel was not there, but then with the help of the shortcut, she was there. And did you saw that Masha is targeting the backliners as well? Only she is there to take down the mage or the carry. She knows that these are the damage dealers. Nobody else was there to deal the damage right now. So Masha is doing his work greatly, and look at that. They got the trade right now. They will go for the turtle. Very fast rotation coming on with the help of the Masha's roller coaster ride, we can say. And they will be getting this lord easily. Madara will be in their side, and it will be maybe an Infinite Tsukiyomi and Almighty Push to end this first set. Obviously, a first set is a best set, but still, right now, the team is up for the challenge. Experiment 5 with only 26.6k goal. Whereas a 7k goal lead is right now onto their face from the side of Dakusena. Will they manage to clear this lord? Will they manage to take down this lord? Defend their base? Reverse sweep this match? What will happen? I'm not sure about it. But the Florin heal and the match.
Hey, you can see Baxia surviving and sustaining so much damage, and there's the re-engage coming in from the Masha, and they are trying to not fight that, because the Lord is marching down the top lane. They need to clear it out before they go for those such team fights, otherwise they might lose those inhibitors turrets, and that's something they cannot, do right now. They cannot expend such kind of, expensive trade. But again, the mid lane second tier turret will not be standing anytime soon. A lot of map pressure being built from the side of Team Dakusena, and that's why, the Florin heal is so vital in those team fights. They can just take those fights much more longer than they can actually want. But hey, that is some show of confidence coming in from the side of Team Dakusena. They're feeling themselves, aren't they?
Obviously, have you seen some Masha picks? And obviously, they know that they're gonna win this match. They are the table toppers of their group, and Experiment 5 haven't won a single match yet. But still, we have seen that underdog teams performing well, but both the teams are in the elite leaderboards. But ES is proving themselves a lot in this match. Dakusena known for their recalls, known for their taunts, and right now they're doing that. They're gonna win this match. And look at that, they're waiting for the Lord, one more Lord, and they're gonna take the game into the into 1-0 maybe, or 2-0 clean sweep maybe. I don't know what they are going to plan for this match, but in the meantime, we can see a little bit of split pushing coming on from the side of Team Experiment 5. That's a good thing. But putting lane pressure can help you to take down the match as well. You'll not believe. I was watching a match. I don't remember where, but there you go. The score was 10-0. Then the 0 team just got the 1 in the last. So anything can be happen. It's a miracle thing can be happen here. They can come back. But right now, again, the Basha going for engage.
Hey, that is a good cancellation, a good peel coming from the Hylos. Is taking in the damage, is stopping the rotation from the side of Team Dakusena to save their carry from surviving. But again, that's a lot of members coming in, and I don't think so the side of Team Experiment 5 can survive all that damage, because you can see one member already falling. That's going to be Prime Abo, and Super M was in a lot of trouble. He was almost on the verge of being taken down, but the positioning from Chip is definitely something that can threaten the map pressure the side of Team Dakusena is putting, because one shortcut onto the Lord pit and the Lord steal can happen. But like you mentioned, this is a game of comebacks, right? If they are feeling confident, that confidence can slowly turn into overconfidence, and the space the side of Team Experiment 5 are getting is something they need to be wary of. Otherwise, that late game carry can really be scary. But talking about the Lord is being melted down from the side of Team Dakusena.
Look at the
And
top
look at
lane.
hey, look at the shortcut, and I think this time Jazz is gonna get taken down. So that's a good pick off coming in from the side of Team Experiment 5. Some size of relief for sure.
But do you think that I mean all those resources for Masha was good?
Mm, I mean, I think it's not a worthful trade, right? The Lord this
But
time will
it's
be an
soothing.
enhanced
It's
Lord,
soothing.
right? Mm-hmm.
It's soothing
Is
after all those recalls and all those trolls. It's soothing for Experiment 5. We can say that. But right now, as you
absolutely.
see that the Lord is emerging and still the recall spam is not going out from the hand of Dakusera. They're literally dominating their side right now onto Experiment 5. They're not experimenting anything. They're just dominating right now. And with this, the Lord is emerging into the inhibitor of the bot section. And we can see a fight is coming up also for the Irithel.
Hey, before we could even say anything, they're getting deleted. Look at the damage triple kill from Irithel. She's looking for a maniac again. Wait, what? She just got a maniac. Carries all by herself. This might turn into a savage. And yes, it is a savage. And what a way to end the game with the Lord and Team Dakusena were feeling themselves. And why not? Because they played like one and got the victory in the first game.
I mean, that was totally insane. I'm really sorry. I couldn't even pick up the thing. It was a beautiful. It should have been a beautiful casting, but I couldn't pick up. I mean, it was so fast in my eyes that Irithel was giving a single kill. I was about to give you. I was about to throw you. Then she was about to take a triple kill. I mean, just in a span of seconds, or you can say nanoseconds, got 3 kills into the hand. Then Maniac in the base, about to go into the healing zone. Then managed to take down the Maniac. Then they didn't wait for the base. They went for the Savage of Irithel. What a game for Irithel. This girl, I mean, this man is literally OP at the moment, we can say. Funny Valentine literally made funny all out of all those KOs, and that was really a dominating game. I mean, they didn't just show their dominance; they showed their aggression. It was totally, I mean, worth it from the side of Dakusena. Let's see how it goes for Experiment 5. I mean, if they can come back, if they can reverse sweep at this point, or one more clean sweep, we're gonna see against Experiment 5.
You know what? The gameplay was so clean coming in from Dakusena, right? They were playing for the objective. They know when to take the fights, how to take the fights, because you can see, the trades of that were happening. It was like 3-4-0, 3-2-4-0, and like they were not losing any members because of the fluorine heal. They could sustain the fight much more longer than they actually could have without the fluorine, right? And I think that one pick completely changed the map pressure the side of Team Dakusena could assert. And given the fact the Marsha was completely pushing, so there was a lot of pressure taken off from the Irithel to go for the split push or go for the turrets, right? And I feel that kind of approach worked so well because she could take more resources than she could normally, have without the support or without the peel the team could offer. And with that kind of lead on a marksman, I think a savage is just worth it, right? I mean, you're supposed to get a savage with that kind of goal lead that you had, that kind of item lead that you have. So that was a really clean game coming from Dakusena and Team Experiment 5. They have a lot of things to cover. They need to, change the draft a little bit because they took 3 tanky heroes without a heal and without proper early game damage, and that's where the heroes could not perform as they anticipated, as they wanted them to. And given the fact the carry as well as the Kimi is so much item reliant, I think the power spike never really came on time.
I was about to say that Shinryu, you got the first pick. You have the Florian into your side because you were thinking about a Fedrin jungle. It's not like you just pick it in the last moment. No, we will go for a Fedrin. We will not go for Assassin. No, it's not like that. No, you have been thinking about it that we will go for a Fedrin jungle. You should have been made your lineup like that, which would have been, I mean, suitable for the Fedrin jungle. But it didn't went for that. They banned the Matilda. They could have went for the Florin, but maybe, and that's the reason Shinryu Florin is having the highest ban rate in Mythic Showdown currently in the Wildcard Stage, and maybe we're gonna see the same in the Swiss stage as well, which is gonna come in just I mean I think 4 days. So I
Hmm.
don't know what will happen, but right now Experiment 5 should work on their
You know what,
lineup
Ash?
more. Yep.
One thing that's gonna happen, that's gonna be Ray joining us for this game. So Ray, if you're there in the VC, can you say hello to the chat?
Hello. I'll first say hello to you, man. Why the chat? The chat comes second. But of course, you guys are here with me. I mean, they cannot communicate with me. But of course, great casting here over Ocean here and Ashes. Of course, RV's train was late today. He could not make it. So there's another R guy coming. It's me, of course.
Hey.
Uh, but yeah, I'll be taking his place. I would not be taking your slot away. Shinir, go ahead and cast the next game as well. I'll just be sitting on the host desk waiting for you guys. But yeah, overall, this was definitely I was there at the match and I was witnessing it, of course, from the stream itself, and pretty crazy. I think it is the first Savage of the wild card stage, and it obviously it's coming from Dakusena because I feel like they're not. I mean, they're a team who rightfully deserves to be in elite above leaderboards. Is that it's just that they've been inactive for so long that I feel like yeah, they've been out of touch for a little bit, but I feel like they might have just proven a lot of people wrong. But and at the same time, I also feel like Experiment 5, that draft is a just like we mentioned, it's a little bit like experimental. I also don't really understand why a lot of these wildcard teams are not prioritizing Florin. As you mentioned, it feels rather like the Fredrin or the tank jungle is a last moment decision rather than something that they had planned with. Because if you had already planned that tank jungle, I feel like you would definitely pick up a healer, wouldn't you? So I feel like, yeah, look at it, 3 tanks, no single healer. That is extremely odd, but overall, yeah, looking at the result screen, of course, look at Haitatsu. I know that guy. But yeah, 1015, untouchable because, of course, there's nobody that can dive in the backline. Of course, there's only Chip, but overall, it is a pretty clear game. And Funny Valentine, he's a really good goal laner, I would definitely say. Overall, a lot of zero deaths onto the hands of Dakusena, and it's pretty clear that they were able to basically dominate the game in a really good fashion. Pretty disciplined game too, I would say, ending it in on not exactly too late, but 14 minutes, 15 minutes basically, yeah. But overall, good attempt from Kimi, but yeah, that anti-heal was early, good decision, but not enough damage overall. The decent though, but yeah, I would honestly hope that at least Team Experiment 5 this time around, if you want to go for a tank jungler, pick up a healer, please. Or if you're not gonna go for that, make sure you're able to bait out the enemy into thinking you're going to pick up a healer and force a few bans, right? Because the draft is just not about picking a few things. It's about a mind game. It's about winning a strategy. Sometimes you can win the 90% of the game in draft itself. And Experiment 5, I feel like they kind of lost 90% of it because honestly, I feel like Dakusena can do much better because Masha EXP, that is not the best option. Valir is, yeah, against 3 tanks, yes, he's good, but there are better options. I feel like Dakusena on second game, I think they're just gonna go like all. I mean, gonna go all guns blazing, even though they did not have a gun this time around. Only a what is it called? A crossbow. Yeah, but
Crossbow,
overall,
yeah.
overall a really great game, and of course great casting. HTZ was flabbergasted. He could not even it's all right, it was the first Savage of the wildcard stages, and it's the last match before we see, of course, the Swiss stages, which are going to be continuing on 28th of May. So mark your calendars, of course. And of course, being myself the horse, host, not the horse. The host I would love to mention is that, of course, these teams, they're competing for the top 2, because if you can make it to the top 2, you will be qualifying immediately to for the regional tournament hosted by Moba 5v5 esports itself. So if you want those updates, they are not have been finalized yet. Do follow them on Instagram, of course. Follow Indian Gaming Corps, who's the one presenting the production, everything. This Mythic Showdown Season 1 is, of course, possible because of them. Of course, support them as well. Follow them. And hey, Shinya, you can also drop your Instagram. And Ashes, you can also drop your Instagram handles in the chat. Guys, do follow them. I mean, they're great causes, but overall, it's time for them to take it over because Shinyu and Ashes, you take it over. This is going to be game number 2 between Dakusena and Experiment 5, the last match of Wildcard Stage. Let's see if it's going to be a clean sweep or Experiment 5 is going to force this game to a number 3. I would have loved if it was a best of 5. They could push it to a game number 5. But yeah, jokes aside, take it over as Shinryu.
Hey, you know what,
Before
guys?
going,
You need to follow Ray because he is a Eminem of rapping. I mean, casting. I'm sorry. Bro did not take a breath. He just entirely said that all things in one breath. You know, guys. So hats off to him, right, Ash?
I mean, he was actually writing all these things when the match was going on.
No,
You
man,
know
it's all off the
everything.
tongue. No, I
Before,
did not write.
therefore, I was about to ask him before going. Can you tell me, will it be a clean sweep or will it be a reverse sweep. What will happen?
I honestly feel like Dakusena is a little bit too strong, but hey, Experiment 5, come on, color me surprised. So yeah, I think take it over,
Guys,
guys, now.
the script is already written. Ray has already written the script. We always get the dialogues
Yep.
from him.
Hey, hey,
Thank
that's true.
you.
That's true.
Thank you.
Again,
Guys,
you know,
yeah, take it over. Take it over, come on.
we
Thank
need
you.
to do some things and take it over, guys. And thank you so much, Ray, for joining us as a host for this game.
Anytime.
And again, we'll be coming back to you soon, right?
Yeah,
Because the
I'll be
game is
there after the
already
match.
rolling. Yes. And of course, the draft is already rolling here, Ash, and 4 heroes being banned this time. The Harith as well as the Moskov taking off, and I think a surprise ban too. The Fredrin this time taken off.
Yep, I mean that was needed because you know what happened previously. I mean, Experiment 5 was good, but the Fedrin pick was also good at place. So maybe they were taking out that Fedrin pick for fun or something like they wants to take it out. But the Moscow is still same. That means the respect ban is still going on. And this time, as you depict, the Harith was about to come from the side of Dakusena. Maybe that's the reason Experiment 5 didn't want to give them the Harith this time, and they will be taking out the Harith. But Irithel, the trilogy metas, one more Irithel is still open, so maybe they can go with that. Hayabusa is getting banned right now, and last ban is about to come, but Lucas is not taken yet, so maybe Experiment 5 will go for that Lucas ban or gonna give them. I'm not sure about it. What do you think, Shinju?
I think they can go for a trade-off, right? They're banning off the Kimi, so I think that's a smart ban. They got that in the last game, so they did not want the other team to go for that hero. So I feel that's a smart approach this time around. But however, Team Dakusena, they will get one strong hero. And what it would be is the question. They can get their hands on the Florin once again. It's a good hero. It worked for them in the last game. It can work again for sure, given the fact the anti-heals have been nerfed quite a bit. And, you know, I think even the global ultimate cannot be cancelled out, right? So they can get the Florine and Team Experiment 5, they can get two strong hero, preferably the Lucas, I was gonna say, but hey, surprise, Team Dakusena, they got the Lucas themselves.
Obviously, and we can. I was expecting that. I mean, I know that if they're gonna leave the Lucas, it will be in the hand of Dakusena for real. Because right now, Lucas is really in the menace mode. We can say after the Naruto skin, and he can just melt you down with the tail-based bombs. So obviously, it was needed right now for Dakusena. But this depicts one thing more that the Jushin is still open. They can go with the Jushin. No, no, no. Irithel this time into the hand of Experiment 5. Maybe they have seen something with that previous Irithel's damage, therefore they got it into their hand. Otherwise, they couldn't have, I mean, given to them because they know the damage is too high. But look at that. Again, one more support. Again, being pulled off from Dakusena. This time, the Matilda with the Dakusena and a Badang will be there into the EXP lane. Florin still open. What do you think, Shinryu? Again, a Florin pick with a Basha jungler or what?
I think they should go for the Florine at this point, otherwise, in the second phase, it might probably get banned. And the Basha, I don't know if they should go for it or not here, but yeah, they are picking that hero, so I think that's again revealing a lot of things, right? What your jungler this time would be. And Team Experiment 5 last time they did not get their hands on the Baxia, so this time they won that. And yeah, that kind of cancel out that heal the side of Team Dakusena wants to go for. The inbuilt anti-heal Baxia provides can work really well. But again,
Yeah.
there's a gold laner yet to be picked, Mage as well. Mage from both the team and gold laner from Dakusena. What do they go for? Like, there's a lot of option. There is the Grandeur, there is the Iritha, like you mentioned, and there's even the carry from the last game that can work well for Dakusena, given the fact they can put the peel on that hero.
I mean, Irithel is not there because it's already into Experiment 5 side. But right now, I'm hoping for two bans from Dakusena, Florin and a Valentina. That will help them a lot. And look at that, they will be going for Angela ban. I'm not sure about it. I was thinking about a Florin and Valentina because the mage is yet to come and you got a Lucas in your side. So, and also Badang and also Matilda. So everyone has the ult which can be copied by the Florin. So I was hoping for I mean copied by the Valentina. So I was hoping for a Valentina ban as well as a Florin ban. But Angela, I think it's 50-50. I'm not sure about it because Angela can heal only one hero with the, I mean, ult,
It's kind
but
of single
Flo-
target, yeah. It's kind of single
yeah.
target, yes.
But Florian can heal all those four members. So Hardguard and Florence Alt is like hell and heaven. But look at that. They will be going with the Sicilian ban at this point. That's a good thing. No one want the late game to be there. And a Florin as well. Okay. Valentina open.
I feel the Valentina might be a good pick for the side of Team Experiment 5, but given the fact the short range can be a bit counterable for the side of Team Experiment 5's mid lane, that can also be a point where they can suffer against Team Dakusena. So the Valentina is definitely a good choice. They should go for that hero at this point. Still have a flexibility for the last pick. They can see what the other team would go for, but instead they are going for a Eve. So another control mage from the mid lane, a bit to one dimensional because she's immobile once she uses that also a bit too targetable. So a backline, dive hero can really punish that one pick coming in from the side of Team Experiment 5. But yeah, this
Who?
time, wait, what? I am in a surprise, man. What is happening? I see a Idora of all heroes.
And a Nathan as well. I mean, I was thinking about Beatrix at that moment. Even Granger could have been working better against Irithel, but Nathan as well in the meta, I know that. But how it gonna works in a tournament, I'm not sure. Rank, okay, but tournament, not sure. And Eudora, for whom? For Gatotkacha or for Basha? I mean, okay, maybe I will not judge this. Once I judged this Eudora pick of Witch, and I got punished from which he managed to take MVP in that match. So I'm not gonna judge this, but against this, I'm not sure. I was thinking about a Estes for real, but Fedrin could have got good. I mean, in the previous draft when they were setting with the Fedrin Estes do works great right now. So at that moment, if this Estes pick was there, maybe Experiment 5 would have won the match. But right now, Estes pick is here with the Eve being there. Therefore, they didn't went for some mobility kind of mage. They went for some, I mean, non-dimensional mage will be stable in somewhere. But as team Dakusena is also having a Lucas right now, can dive into the backliners as well as can come back from that position with the help of gliding wind. So it's kind of, you can say the two drafts are looking very rationalized from both these sides. But I'll go with Dakusena's draft because they got this Lucas into their hand, a meta hero, and there is no meta from Experiment 5 side. If you're gonna count Basha, then I'm not sure about it.
I mean, I do see the prospects of the draft of Experiment 5. They want to, go for the heal of their own with the Estes, right? They want to group up, they want to take the fight as a team instead of, going one by one. But again, we will be walking into the second game of the night between Team Dakusena, who are on the match point against Team Experiment 5, who might have to fight against the odd, go for a probably reverse sweep if they can. But again, with both the drafts already being locked in, I see the prospect that I was talking about. Team fight against a bit too damage that they want to go for one by one. They want to just take the team fights and just go for the flanks or probably the dive onto the backline because it's pretty easy to target. But again, we haven't talked enough about the Idora, right? Idora can work well, but again, who does it counter? The MM? Yes, it can counter the Irithil, but again, that's just it because the rest of the heroes have a very good range and they're pretty tanky, and I don't think so the burst would be enough. But, I think the value of that hero is pretty much just one-dimensional again in this game. So, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts for the Evan as well as the Eudora is kind of I don't know what to say right now because Eudora for this type of heroes I was not sure at that moment that they will go with the Eudora because Louis was open, Jushin was also open at that moment, and Jushin could have worked better against a utility jungler. Eudora, maybe they're going with the comfort right now. They went for a Masha pick, so it's not surprising for me that they will not go for a Eudora pick. So maybe that's the reason they went for the high damage as well to take down the Eve or the Irithel. You need to, I mean, have a good position. But before that, we can see a fight was about to break up, but it's not the thing. Super Im will be going back into a safer zone at this point, and the turtle, the first neutral objective, is about to come. It's already spawned into the Land of Dawn. We can see the Kashi has already started the turtle dance. Let's see who'll having this. I mean, the river control is likely into the hand of team Dakusena right now. Retry will be easily forced away, and look at that. it will be an easy
Hey.
turtle, but the fight is on.
There is the, RWM as well as the AOG being connected, but Baxia, first blood, Yamraj. We were talking about whether he can burst down the Baxia or not. The answer is yes, but look at the entropy being used by Nate, and they're going in with the ultimates in and out. There is the AOG, but it is just to disengage the team fight. The circling eagle was used right away, so that's a lot of aggression coming in from Dakusena for the first team fight of alone.
Obviously, and what do you think? I mean, rather than going for a Gatot Kacha, what if the first pick would have been a Thorin? I mean, you've been thinking about the Basha pick. Thorin and Basha would have been great. Gatot Kacha could have been, neglected at that moment. If, Team Dakushana was about to go with a Gatot Kacha, you could have gone with a Phobius as well for the EXP.
Could have been, that could have been another prospect. But again, Nathan in a lot of trouble, forced to use the flicker out of the place just to get out of the harm's way. But Irithel, wait, what? The Estes just got deleted given the fact that he's pretty squishy, and Yamraj getting another kill. Yo, we should not doubt this guy anytime soon, He's just proving us wrong from the very first few minutes of the game. The Idora does work for sure.
Obviously, it does work for sure when your comfort is Eudora. How can I forget? Yamraj Eudora do works great as well. But the thing is, not a single time wasted when he managed to delete that Blacklist International Estes. It's fun. You can say it's irony that the Estes is using Blacklist International skin with a jungler as Basha. It do reminds me Wise and B-Wise combo, but right now going into the backline.
Wanted to go into the backline, but there is the heal coming in from Estes just to neutralize that team fight. As you can see, the sustain is just enough, but that's a lot of resources being burned because the turtle is already up, and they won't have that ultimate anytime soon because given the fact the cooldown is pretty long. So I think this might be a comfortable turtle take for side of Dakusena because there is no contest whatsoever. Even the retribution is on cooldown, so pretty much turtle given away? Question mark?
Yeah. And we can say that they having the, Riverside into their control, so they will be having this turtle as well. Look at that. Okay, Gatot Kacha has to re-back into a safer zone so that, he knows that he can be going for that turtle. He can't be contesting for that turtle. That's the main reason he just went back. Right now, we can see that the early game dominance is already started again from the side of Dakusena. They know how to dominate the early game. But Irithel this time into the hand of Team Dakusena. Look at the damage coming from this Nathan, about to delete the Gatot Kacha at that moment. And okay, managed to escape, but the turret, I don't think it will be it will be there. It will be easily deleted.
But again, moving to the bot lane, you can see 4 members being present from the side of Team Experiment 5, and they want to trade off the turret, but Irithel needs to be careful. Cypher was almost at a bad position, but he's managed to get out of the harm's way with the help of the sprint, and the rest of the team is definitely there to help him out. But look at the aggression coming in. The Circling Eagle definitely giving that, the angle the side of teams Dakusena's jungler needed, and there is a double kill already. Jazz going in with a lot of damage. Despite being a tanky hero, he's definitely bursting down those low HP targets, and more map pressure. 4-4-0 already in the favor of Team Dakusena, and they're trying to look for another turret onto the mid lane. And the fight does not stop there, does it? Because you can see the burst damage definitely doing the magic, and Funny Valentine will be getting that, last hit onto that Gatot Kacha, and he just get targeted down. So they're trying to look for more, but the turret onto the mid lane might fall really soon.
That was a nice way Funny Valentine just used. Went for the ult, then just have a bling, then to get away from the situation, use the flicker. Totally fast with his hands. Right now, one more turret about to gone from the hand of Team Experiment fight, that is from the bot lane, and the turtle about to spawn. With that, the river control AOG coming on. Lucas got caught off guard, and it will be Lucas getting down from the Basha. Easy kill coming for the side of Experiment 5. Their first kill, we can say, and before the turtle spawning. So the third turtle is going for the side of Experiment 5 right now. Look, it was not needed. I don't know why Lucas went for that. It was totally overextending at that moment. Turtle was about to spawn. You should have waited for the turtle. You should have taken the turtle. And maybe a possible fight was about to come at the turtle. So Dakusena's jungler literally couldn't have the patience, we can say. And with this, till now we can say they doesn't have a turret into their hand, and maybe that's the reason the lane pressure will be there onto them in the late game. The circling eagle coming on, but we'll not see any fight right now from the side of Dakusena. They will be waiting for it. They will be waiting for the Lord maybe to get a fight over there, but right now they want this mid lane tier 3 immediately as soon as possible. They're hunching for it. They're right now for that only. They're targeting the mid lane so much that they're forgetting about all other macro things, because the buff is already not taken by the Lucas, the red one, and he's right now going on to invade the blue. But before that, a fight is coming on to the top.
Oh, the Bagzia just got bursted down, shredded down from the damage of the members of Team DS, and just like that, the map pressure is going to the side of Team Dakusena once again, but there's the AOG as well as the RWM cancelling out. But look at Badang going for the backline, targeting 2 members, and the damage from the Leighton might what's gonna be enough, but no, these are still walking. The heal from Estes definitely helping them survive, but there's a 1v1 onto the bot lane going on between Cypher and Kayashi, and neither of them will be falling anytime soon. So I think the map pressure is definitely being built on from the side of Team Dakusena. As you can see, the mid lane already falling, but they're again going in. The circling eagle is there, but the Bagzia sustaining all that damage. So much sustain on that hero. Even the Nathan cannot burst him anytime soon, and that is the problem with the Bagzia's, sustain, as well as Estes being on the same team. Lot of, re-engage capability that team can offer.
You know what, Shinryu, right now they are getting the kills, but the thing is, Team Experiment 5 is so sustained, but they are forgetting about the lane pressure. Lane management is not so good from them. They don't have a turret yet, and Team Dakusena is literally going for those turret farms more than the kills right now. And look at that, Batang escaped from a big situation, but right now, Pipeman.
Oh, there is the RWM as well as the AOG just to get that space the mage needed to give the damage, but still nobody falling. But finally the Lord will be hitting that low HP Bagzia. So Irithil does not the Irithil, the Aurora gets the kill, but they will find 2 of their own trade. Experiment 5, they get the gold laner as well as the tank. So Haitatsu as well as Funny Valentine won't be there to take fight in this lot, pit. But I don't think so. Without a jungler, they would want to risk it and just give the lot away to the other team. But again, they should be pushing the lane, like you mentioned. They need to go for the macro plays a lot more than they're going for those team fights. So finally, the first turret, not the first but the second turret of the game, or was it the third one, that is falling for the side of Team Experiment 5.
Yeah, it's the third one for them, but if you're gonna see, okay, one more fight is about to come, but the Lord is still to touch right now. But look at that, Istis is like that. He is sticking to the Basha as well as the whole team. So I think Lucas should take care of the Istis, or otherwise he can also take care of the Eve. But look at that, the Badang!
Finally going for the Estes, like you mentioned, and they get the main person they were looking for. And despite the RWM being there, the AOG being there, they will be not enough to help them sustain, because they lost their main healer. And right now Irithil doing for a 1v1, and Yamraj was almost on the verge of being taken down. But again, you can see the rest of the members running down for the hills without their frontliner. The 2 of them cannot do anything but watch, and they might just watch this Lord being taken down from the side of Team Dakusena. So this is definitely a lot of more pressure being built towards the side of Team Experiment 5. And I feel this Lord can just get them the game as well anytime soon if they play the same game that they're doing right now. Mark that Estes once again.
They need to take care of that Blazings as well in the mid lane, because it's still on. And maybe when the law will come, the Blazing will be on soon, so it can easily take away the Lord from the map. So they should take care of this. And also, they will be getting one more turret in the bot lane. That's a good thing. Lane pressure is still on, and Gatot Kasha is maybe gonna... Okay, the AOG will be used for the survive. But before that, we can say that... okay, Lucas, look at that. Lucas is right now in a very bad position. Was about to got caught off guard from that Basha. But okay, 12 minutes is on. The Blazing is off. Telby's bomb used. Madara is about to reach the inhibitors. Or recall spamming already started. Is this the almighty push, Shinryu?
Yeah, that could be the almighty push that I was talking about, because it's also a 5v5. There's the RWM being used, and Padang on the backline trying to mark that assist once again, but two members being taken down, make it three soon, but no, they are surviving with the mobility given by that Mathilda, but again, they need to clear the waves out before they take more fights, but there's a circling eagle onto the Irithil. They're trying to take him down. There's a lot of damage coming in from the Irithil. It's a heal. There's a re-engage coming from the Baxia. They're trying to take the fight, but they're just being careful, and they finally get the stun onto Haitatsu, and he will be getting taken down. Baxia needs to be careful. He's a bit overzealous right now, going for a 2v1. He does not have the damage dealer. The waves are still going in towards the side of Team Experiment 5's base, so they might have to clear it before they go all in for that push. But again, that's a good counter engage, counter gang coming from the side of Team Experiment 5. They finally have some room to breathe.
This is what happens when you're with a Eudora in your mage. I mean, not CC. You can say she can provide stun, okay, but CC, where is that? Right now again, Badang. Right now, 4-man going on, and Telby's bomb coming on. Healing is already there. They're going for the back line, and look at that, Zinru.
Oh, the RWM this time will be cutting off Kayashi, and he will get taken down. And man, despite being targeted, that Manser was so good on his foot. The positioning coming, the re-engage, they went to a right place where they could use the RWM just to take, or push him to a place where they did not get the support from the team, could not have any escapability, and that just played so well for the side of Team Experiment 5. And right now, Haitatsu, we need to be careful. He's walking to a bush without any vision. He does not have the Purify. He uses a circling eagle defensively just to get out of the harm's way. But that's another resource being burned out right before the Lord will be spawning. So, the Jazz, or sorry, not Jazz, but Kayashi is finally back, but Jazz have been doing a phenomenal job trying to mark that backline, trying to bait the flicker from the Estes. He needs to continue doing so, otherwise I don't think so there is any other one or anyone else to go into the backline and mark that Estes, as well as that Soya onto that Eve. So that is the main people they need to mark for, but again, the Lord is being taken down. Will they contest for it is the question here, Ash.
Yup, and before that, you can see a fight is coming up.
Oh, there's the early RWM being used, but that will be enough to take two members down. The AOG will be dropping on the right member, but look at the HP of Prime. He's still surviving. But again, this time they lost their tank as well as the jungler, so no retribution for the side of Team Dakusena. And 5 versus 3 situation, they should not try to push their luck anytime soon, but they might as well. But they are losing one member, and they're trying to fight again. Jazz with a good save, and you can see a triple kill onto Funny Valentine, once again being the anchor of the team. Just this time things were against his team, but he's finally giving that pressure that they needed, that you need to walk up and be the carry of the team in the late game, and he's definitely doing so here, Ash.
Changed the game. He changed the total momentum of the game. I mean, I was not expecting a lot still from the side of Dakusena at that moment when their jungler and their roamer was out of the game. The Badang's fist crack was on to the point, and then the backline damage coming from this Nathan was too much that they managed to take down the Irithil. I mean, they know the damage dealer is Irithil. She is having the fun in this match, so they first take care of her. But Lucas was doing great. I mean, taking care of the Istis as well as the Eve was needed at that moment. Mainly Istis, because you all know that the healer should be taken out. The milk giver should be taken out. Otherwise, the energy will be always full for you. Right now, the inhibitor fall already in the mid lane. The Madara is going on. They want to deflect his movement. But before that, a damage is coming from this Nathan is too much. Mega kill for the Nathan. Will it be a double kill?
Oh, they're still walking off the targeted zone, but that was a good engage coming from Jazz. He cut off the heal that could have been provided to the Garud Kacha. They don't have their front line anytime soon, but they will be getting Cypher as well. That's the bad news, and Manser taken down as well. Things went so wrong for Experiment 5. They lost 4 members on the verge of losing 5th, and they definitely will be doing that. And man, that was a triple kill for Yamraj, as well as the game secured for Dakusena. Clean sweep at it.
Victory for the team Dakusena. What a win for them. I mean, at a moment I thought that Experiment 5 is slowly coming back, but then it was all a Funny Valentine making the game into his hand, being the X Factor in the previous match, getting a savage How could it be like he cannot get some bunch of kills in this match? A triple kill, the real MVP. I mean, he's the real MVP of this BO3 series between Experiment 5. Okay, that was a great game. I think Ray gonna say that if Experiment 5 has gonna rectifying their mistakes or not, or it will be Funny Valentine who gonna show this, who gonna still the show in the Swiss stage. What do you think, Ray?
It's going to be interesting overall. I just want to point out one thing you mentioned, milk giver. That's a new term I read for Estes. I've never heard anyone call Estes the milk giver, but you're not wrong. You're actually right. So new term for Estes by Ash
Yeah.
TZ. Oh, okay. The names also they kind of match.
Once the dad is gone take the milk, it might be a game over. That's what happened. The Estes being taken down really affected the overall team fight capability for Team Experiment 5,
Mm.
wasn't it, Ash? I mean, Ray.
Yeah, of course. But honestly, I think we can all be honest that it was pretty clear, right, that Dakusena was kind of holding back with a lot of interesting picks because I feel like they were playing a little bit into the ego because I don't think. I mean, Yudra is not a bad hero, but in a match like this, she was not at all. And they somehow made it work. I was honestly doubting it the moment I saw it because, like, Yudra is something more of an akin to an assassin counter, not something that you can pick against a Baxia, right? But they still made it work. It's pretty interesting how they went with it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of doubted that pick right from the point he picked. And we
Yeah,
were talking.
makes
I mean, I
sense.
was talking about it, right? Who is he gonna target? Who is gonna burst down? Is it gonna be the Irithel? But man, even bursted down the tanky heroes from the right. I mean, the first kill
Yeah,
was to get down. I
yeah.
mean, we don't get to see that every day, do we?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was doubting the Udra pick. Then I see First Blood, Baxia taken down by Udora, none other. Then how does that even happen? That is pretty insane. We need some tips. Like I'm a mage main right now, so I need some tips. How do you make Udra so powerful? But yeah, that's the magic of Dakusena. What do you have to say for us? Like, of course, you were fully hyped. You were the analyst, but sometimes I would forget it because of how much energy you have. It's pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah, it was intense because of the picks, you can say. I mean, Nathan is a late game hero, so he was about to farm, and when he got farm, he got the kills. And Eudora, it's okay in the early game she can manage, but there was not much squishy heroes. Managed to take down the mill giver once, but then it
Mail
was.
giver.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, if you remember, in our childhood, we gave when we drink milk, we get the protein, and then we can just go and use our energy into the games, into the plays. So that's what Istis do. I mean, I always say when I play ranks with my friends, I always say he's the milk giver. Take care of him first, bro. He is giving the milk to them. Let him kill first, and then we can kill all of them. So that was he at the first. So he's
Okay,
like
okay.
the I don't know how to say this, but he's like the mommy for those four kids. You should
Whoa,
take care
whoa,
for the
whoa.
mommy first. So they were
Hey,
taking care of
hey,
mommy
hey,
first.
hey! We need to stop Ash before he goes out of hand here, Ray. Otherwise, we will be inventing new terms one after the other, won't we?
The the only mommy I have is Zushin. Sorry, Ash. No, no, like
Okay,
sadly.
then Estes is the daddy. You want to say that?
Hey,
Hey,
no,
yo,
bro.
hey,
No,
No, if
bro.
you
what is
are,
It's only daddy in
happening?
the
What
room
is
for
happening?
Zushin. It's
Hey,
me, bro.
I'm gonna
No, no.
hey!
into the
I thought,
Seahawks.
I thought, I thought we were in a family-friendly casting. What is happening at this point, guys? You need to
Ash,
chill out. Hey,
Ash will get reported. Don't worry. We'll throw him under the bus. He's the one who started with the whole milk business. I mean, hey, technically, milk is family friendly, isn't it? Right, Ash? What do
Mm,
you say?
obviously. I mean, we all drink milk. We
Yeah, we
all
all
love.
drink milk. Yeah, I still drink milk, like a lot of it, because you gotta get the vitamin D right. Without vitamin D, your bones are gonna crack. Remember, kids, make sure
It's
you get
different.
that
All right.
you get the
It's
D vitamin.
different. It's different if people are thinking about the colostrum. I'm talking about the milk. You can't say the colostrum.
Okay,
well,
we
well,
we we have
we will
our
have the science classes later. We will have the science classes later. But again, we need to move back to the match here, Ray. But yeah, that was another dominant performance from the group. Team DS were from, and they're completely, dominating and untouched. They did not lose many games, did they? And they're moving to the main stage, right? The Swiss format.
I think we'll obviously get the confirmation soon, but there were two groups into the wildcard stages, and two will make it through, like two from each group. So yeah, I think they have. But yeah, we'll get the confirmation. And for the confirmation, guess where you need to go? You obviously need to follow Indian Gaming Corps in Instagram, as well as subscribe to the channel to make sure you're updated. And of course, you will know which of your favorite wildcard teams will be proceeding to the Swiss stages to duke it out to, of course, with the other teams in the Mythic leaderboard, right? So I think it's definitely going to be Untitled, Ryuga, and Dakusena at least. I forgot another team. What was it? Sorry, it's I've been seeing so many teams. They have been performing really well, but yeah, of course, only the best, only the ones who have been better than the rest can make it to the Swiss stages, where they're going to be digging out even more, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's Blazing Olympus, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was it Venom?
Oh, I think it's Blazing Olympus. Yep, you're right. Actually, I think it's Blazing Olympus. But there we go. There's the result screen. Also, one more thing I would love to mention is that Naruto flying was too hilarious. On not Naruto, the Kurama. It was too funny. He was he was. I don't know why it was too funny to see a Kurama running around in a circle so fast. But yeah, it was a sight to see. But overall, I feel like there's nothing much to say about the bills into the hands of Dakusena. It's all the typical. Kyazi went with the semi kind of a tanky build. Understandable though, Winter Crown for that clutch play. On the other hand, Badang, of course, fully tank build, and Nathan with the burst. On the other hand, though, Experiment 5, looking at the bills, it's everything is fine. But yeah, I would have prepared. Okay, there is Rose Gold. For a second, I missed it out. But yeah, there was Rose Gold. Cypher is actually really well built. But yeah, just like you guys mentioned, they were not able to. It looked like they had a chance to bounce back, but yeah, it was just not there. Yep, Ash.
I mean, Suya and Cypher was really playing well in that match, and it was all I can say. It was just a Nathan that happened with them. That triple kill. They were about to take the Lord, but they didn't went for the Lord. They went for a fight. That was a bad thing. I mean, if they could have gone for the Lord, I don't think the three members would have come and steal your Lord at that moment. And that was the main reason they focused on the Badang more than that Nathan. In the backline, Nathan gave a lot of damage, and then the real game just turned out, and Experiment 5 just got lost. But it's okay. I mean, they will be learning it soon, as soon as possible, and they will be bouncing back with a stronger, team as a stronger team. But right now, it's what it is. Dakusena into the top 16.
Yep. Jagosena will be proceeding to the Swiss stages. Congrats to them. And of course, congrats to the three other teams as well. We're going to be making it through it. And we are going to be, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this was the end of the wildcard stages. This was the final day and the final match. And of course, I was joined by this guy in the suit. I mean, why am I telling him? I'm in the suit as well. The only thing missing is a tie. The only thing missing is a tie because, what is it? I don't know how to tie it. So Shinryu, please teach me. The YouTube tutorials do not help. All right. On the other hand, though, Ashizy looking like a full-on gamer here. Look at him. He doesn't look like a caster at all. Ashizy, when are you starting your esports career as a player? I think you suited so much more. But yeah, of course, thank you for Shinryu and Ashizy for that banger hype casting for the last match of the wildcard stages. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, follow Indian Gaming Corps as well as Moba 5v5 esports on Instagram to make sure you stay updated for the regional tournament that will be coming soon. And the top two from this tournament would be qualifying for it. Of course, we'll be back into the Swiss stages as well. If you haven't commented down below already, you can still comment because the stream is few seconds left. It is to make sure #Mythic Showdown, support your favorite team, and you might have a chance to win. Be out of 3 winners of the 10,000 diamond. But of course, we come to an end with the wildcard stages, and we'll be seeing you guys back on the Swiss stages with the top 16 teams with the Mythic leaderboard, and of course, the 4 teams from the wildcard stages. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the Swiss stages. For now, bye-bye, take care, and we'll be right back with the Swiss stages in a few days on 28th May. So mark your dates, and we'll be back. Bye-bye.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट।